Jay Thomas Show. Sirius XM 104. This is the Jay Thomas Show. The interesting, the odd, and the bizarre people behind the, interesting. The odd and bizarre stories. Jay gets in it, stirs it up, and spits it out. He's a professional. It's all here on the Jay Thomas Show with Rodney Shuley, Kevin, Garrett, and Christina. And Ira, this is the Jay Thomas Show.
You're up. Well, if anybody was running this place, that would piss them off, Garrett. I can tell you that. If we could find anybody. Tonight, I will be on XM 87 and Sirius 210 for the first annual Fantasies. And there'll be NFL, NHL, maybe baseball players. You're gonna, people are going to be on there, interviews and stuff. And we're giving the awards. Now, I could be wrong.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I know. I'm not prepared. I could be wrong, but I think we're only giving the awards to players that did great for their fantasy choosers. That's what I think.
Yeah, I would assume no one would care if Mike from Manasquaw won an award for picking the best fifth-round draft pick.
Well, but you know what? I'm not running the show. But if they get a star, let's say they got a Drew Brees or whatever, and a certain fantasy team had chosen him as the quarterback, it would be fun if they went, hey, Drew, you won the whatever it is award for being the best fantasy quarterback. And by the way, Chuck Terrell chose you. And Chuck goes, hello, Drew.
That would be fun.
See? That's what I mean. Like that. But I'm not running it. And I don't know. They might have. You ever heard of Anita Marks? I don't know these people.
No.
Ray Flowers, you know him?
Nope.
Hockey?
Nope.
So maybe they are giving it to people that won. They might have. I think they're doing that. Yeah. And Steve Phillips will be a part of it.
Know him.
Can't mention anything about his little thing. No, I can't.
What about how he ran the Mets into the ground?
Yeah. Well, no, he didn't do that. He had a, something else happened. Anyway, Maurice Jones-Drew.
He loves us.
He does, doesn't he? Now, I picked him in the fantasy thing, and they got all upset. And you were there for this.
Yeah.
This was 2 years ago. And then they made me give him back to himself.
Yeah, he traded us.
I felt like it was, prior to the Civil War, the way this thing was going.
We got 40 acres and a mule.
Yeah, Christina, I had picked this guy because he was there, trying to be a good guy, right? I thought, and he goes, everybody goes, ooh, like that. I went, why? He goes, he wants to be in his own fantasy team. I thought, how stupid is that? Okay. So I had to give him back to himself. There's a movie. You know what it was like? Glory, 21st Century. Would have been my film.
Yeah, so it says Ray Flowers is a fantasy sports writer.
Well, yeah, they'll have those guys.
Yeah.
Christina, does your boyfriend do fantasy sports?
He does.
Which one?
He does football.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure about basketball because we haven't.
He'll
been
want to
together
tune
for
in
basketball
between
season
8
yet.
and 11 tonight. I'm sorry to yell over you. On Sirius 210, XM 87. Now, who is this woman? This Kay? She's one of the co-hosts. Kay Adams. You didn't find out who she was for me. I asked you yesterday. And then you could be.
You told us that she's a radio announcer.
She is. She broadcast out of St. Louis. But is she a sports person?
It looks that way online, yes.
So she's a gal that knows sports.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
Man, I hope she wipes the floor with you.
She probably knows. Look, I will tell you now. She knows more inside sports than I do. I will tell you that now. I didn't say that women and gay men don't really dig into the sports. I didn't say that. I just said you don't normally sit at a bar with a woman or a gay friend and sports is the big talk. okay? There are certainly gay men and women who are into all sorts of sports. And there's certainly women that are into sports also. But in my long life, out of all the bars I've been to, I can remember one girlfriend I had, and this is true of Southern women, I think. Maybe it's true of women at Penn State. But, by the way, I say that now I'm trying to improve their image. Isn't it funny? You say Penn State, you just think of that guy, that terrible coach.
Joe Paterno.
No, not him, the bad guy.
Yes.
You know. But Sandusky, even you. So, Christina, you've got a son, and he's a great athlete, and they come to him there in wherever you live, and they're recruiting him, and it's for Penn State. Every time they said it, what would you think with your kid sitting in the room?
No, I'd have to protect his rear end.
No, but it isn't even about protecting his ass. It just has such a bad reputation right now.
Even though the
that's
school,
what I mean. On all ends, I'm protecting his ass on all sides.
Oh!
But even if the school had
You
nothing-
use the popular plural of ass.
I did.
Yes, Garrett, I'm sorry.
even if the school really had nothing to do with it, like, yes, they covered it up or, whatever.
I
you
totally
could assume,
agree.
But
I am not saying there's any logic to it, because I don't think there's a lot of logic to a lot of stuff. And I'll tell you how illogical this guy Santorum is.
Ooh.
Covino and Rich were talking about him. So when they notice a politician, that it's really bad.
did they endorse him?
No, they think he's horrible and he's an idiot and he's a whole this and he's a whole of that. And so I'm listening and I'm sitting there saying, well, I'll never mention Rick Santorum again as long as I live. People go, do you worry about people stealing your material? No, I don't even want to discuss. I don't even want to get in the arena that they're discussing, because too many other people talk about it. I will tell you something in the middle of my fantasy promo here. I'm just like Howard promoting, my new big thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I got a day's vacation, too.
Did you have a Super Bowl commercial? I thought I saw it.
Me?
Or was that just Howard?
I don't remember. What do you mean? Howard was on the Super Bowl?
Yeah,
He
he
had
had
a-
an American.
No, but I got a fantasy commercial running.
Ooh.
They're saying, Jay Thomas.
And Kay Adams plugged you on Facebook.
There you go. Kay Adams, famous woman sports announcer.
I
Not
think you're
woman.
gonna like her, Jay. She's a little sex pot.
Yeah. She's right up your alley.
She looks
I am a
feisty.
long-time married man.
No, that's not what I mean.
And a marriage, by the way, not put together by Jesus Christ our Lord and Savior, because my wife doesn't believe in that. But a marriage put together by a defrocked Episcopalian. A man.
Is that a good thing?
Well, he's no longer really a minister in the church, but or maybe a Presbyterian. But they'd given him this giant church in L.A. that no one came to. So it was really easy to book it. It was like a Presbyterian church in the middle of like the ghetto, right? Mm-hmm. You go in, there was nobody there. There are no like Presbyterians that live in the ghetto, I guess. I don't know. So I said, yeah, we'll take this. So that's what we did. But he read poetry and all that shit. So that's what I was saying earlier about men and women, you just don't talk to them that much about sports, do you, Garrett?
Women?
Gay guys and women. You don't, It's just not what you talk about.
Because they know nothing about it.
Usually. So when you see the ones on television or, like this Kay from the radio, I'll be listening very carefully. And I'm sure she knows more than I know. It just seems like a forced kind of a thing to me.
Like if you were into fashion, a straight man in fashion.
But if I was really into it, and I knew everybody, when Fashion Week came, I got really excited.
People would question you.
Yes, they would find it unusual.
Yeah.
And when I was with women and gay men at Fashion Week, they would go, I don't know, there's something about this guy I don't like, right? I just don't. And I'd be a sideline reporter, and here we are here comes Giselle Bundchen down they go like that. What the fuck is he doing here,
I
right?
go to the silent reporter. They never say anything at these fashion shows.
God, send it to Mario. They always have one name. Mario, the hat designer. Send it over to him. So now I was thinking, well, they expect me to kind of be funny and stuff tonight, right? Well,
That's no problem.
It's a big problem. Of course it is a big problem. Are you kidding? I have the tapes to prove it. It's a big problem. I don't really, I stayed up till about 2 a.m. last night.
I know, I got some emails at like 3 a.m.
That's right. Reassessing my life last night. I've been getting up every day. We have, of course, our conference calls. We have our writers' meetings. We talk about what we're going to be doing today, the production and the whole thing. We have that, right? Mm-hmm. Then I go into my solitary time after that. And then we come in and we do the show. And after the show is over, I go, is that all there is? What do I do now? Do I just live, like a luxurious life? Do I just, walk out, have dinner, have a cocktail? Is that what I do? Or do I keep pushing? Keep pushing. I have no answer. That's what I was thinking about last night. I came to no conclusions whatsoever. And at about 2 o'clock I went. And by the way, I'm returning emails. I'm, watching an old movie while I'm putting my life together. There you go. So then tonight we'll be doing that, okay? And also, yes, over the weekend, and it's going to run a lot, I did an episode of the #1 kids show, apparently, Shake It Up on the Disney Channel, and that's running out there. It's run 2 or 3 times this week, and someone's going to call up, you get a residual, see? And you get a big one because it's running on the main channel. It's not like a rerun.
That's Pharrell's catchphrase.
What?
Shake it up.
It is? They stole that from him, made a television show out of it. He'll probably say that. Yesterday, by the way, that's a big deal, having the guy that has the Supreme Court for the act of valor. That was on the front page of every newspaper this morning, and they were talking about it. And I saw a reporter on maybe Fox or CNN or whatever was on at the gym, and the guy was saying all the things that he said about how relaxed the court justices were. And one of the things was how they started talking about, well, should we make it against the law just to lie? That's what they started saying. And so then that opens another door. And so one of the other justices said the thing about, what about when guys, you're out on a date and they lie to you? Should that be against the law? And these 2 lawyers have to just answer them. So it's not like a court of law that has all of those rules you see on TV, right?
Is it kind of like a think tank where they bounce ideas off each other?
It is a think tank because they are going to interpret a law that has been passed by Congress, right? Mm-hmm. And as you know, the president can pass no laws. Only the House of Representatives and the Senate can pass laws, right? And so what's so weird about everybody yelling about the president, it's really always been the Congress that has made all the major decisions, and they gave the president a veto power, right? So that's the deal. So now it goes to the Supreme Court, and when they rule, that's it. That's the law. So here's another one. Is it a lie to say you have a master's degree to get a job, and a company, one of their criteria is master's degree, right? You make $500,000 over 5 years. They find out you don't have a master's degree. What sort of job did he do? What difference does it make? He lied to get the job. Do you owe him the $500,000 back? If they pass a law in a certain way, it'll make it against the law to lie. Maybe in a work situation, maybe as an elected official, maybe that'll be it. But suppose a guy lied, but you think he's still a great whatever.
But I think it should. The burden should be on the person being told the lie to double check it.
With the internet and stuff now, yes, but there's still a generation of this internet where people have downloaded things about themselves, okay, over the years. Mm-hmm. And there wasn't enough information about them for us to really check it. Your generation, I don't believe you can get away with anything. No. Nothing. They'll put on Facebook, hey, this guy Garrett came in for a job today, and he told us this. Does anybody know anything different? They might actually do that. And, of course, all of your pals from Opie and Anthony would love to fucking tell them things about you.
Nice.
Wow, that's what I mean. And you'd lose your job. Oh. Like if you came into me after we fail here and we're all out in the street, and you think, of course, you're going to just move to another show. No one liked you, okay?
No.
Lynn Samuels didn't like you.
She liked me.
No, don't start.
At first.
When I got you, you know what they said? You may be the only guy. You're this guy's last chance. I never wanted to tell you this until today. So you'll be out in the street, too. Then you go look for a job. So you're going out looking for a job, and you put good stuff on your resume, and they go, hey, wait a minute. And they go, let's check this out. And they find out you're the one that was screwing the woman in the church when they got fired.
Well,
the guy hiring you is a devout Catholic. In fact, his uncle's a bishop.
Oh, no.
He wouldn't want you in his employ. Not that you're a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see what I'm saying now?
I do.
Christina, they'll be able to pull up Christina saying some of the most horrible things a female could ever say. Funny, interesting, sexy, but when she's trying to get a job someplace else, when internet radio takes over completely and there's no more radio of any type whatsoever except that chips that are planted in people, you'll live to see that. Okay? They'll listen back and they go, we don't want her around our children. Oh, you're laughing. I'm not joking at all. No, I am being 100% U.S. patriotic, telling the truth. Mm-hmm. That's my new thing now. I don't swear to God. I swear to my nation. Okay? No, I'm not joking. You've got to be really, really careful.
Mm-hmm.
You ever go to Target?
Yes.
When I read you everything Target knows about you, and they wouldn't even respond to this article that this guy wrote, you will not believe it. They know what coupons to send you. They know if you have a dog. They know when your menstrual cycle is.
Yeah, it's because of that stupid little card.
All of it. They know. They can figure out when certain of their clients are pregnant. They will send certain coupons, and they're and people always go, "Oh, the government." The government doesn't know shit about you compared to Target. They know everything about you. One guy got a coupon for Pampers and for baby clothes. He takes the coupons down. They were sent to his 17-year-old daughter. Takes the coupon to the Target and says, look, I had a 17-year-old daughter, and I don't know what this is all about, but you're sending her coupons for baby clothes and Pampers and stuff. And the manager of the store, you know, those idiots with the white shirts and the clip-on ties, he said, well, he probably didn't. I have no idea. What the guy didn't realize was that as his family has shopped since his children were little, they had a dossier on all of them. They know everything about him. They know what kind of motor oil he uses, everything. So they send these coupons specifically to you. They've improved their business by $1 billion. Guess what? Go around the horn. Guess what? Round the horn. Guess what, Christina?
What?
Well, you're supposed to tell me. Guess what?
I don't know.
You're not listening to my big story?
No, parts of it, yes.
Why would they be sending that to a 17-year-old girl?
Turn her on?
You say to turn her on. You mean the manager guy did it so he could? I'm going to send birth control pill information to this little chick. No, he has no control over it, you pervert. That right there, it's going to be on the internet the rest of your life. Christina, you have any idea?
I really don't.
Target could tell by her shopping habits that she was pregnant. And the father didn't know it. Take that music out, please.
Oh.
The father didn't know it. And so the guy calls the Target back and apologizes.
No secrets anymore.
And but they have a logarithm. They have so much statistical information that this young girl, maybe like 6-8 months before, bought a tester, like a pregnancy tester. And maybe she did buy, or she stopped buying, listen to this one, she stopped buying Tampax. Or Tampax. How do you say it? Tampax?
Tampax.
So they noticed that she hadn't bought them in a few months, right? with her card. So they figured she was pregnant. The dad found out she was pregnant and called back to Target and apologized. That I thought was weird.
Oh,
you know why
man.
he apologized? You know why he apologized to Target?
The dad apologized to Target?
Why would he even care? Why would he call back?
Because he's embarrassed that his daughter is a possible whore.
Did it out of embarrassment. We're going to be guessing. Is Gary the intern there?
He is.
Gary, what do you think? Why would the dad goes home, finds out the daughter is pregnant, the stats had caused it at Target? Why would he apologize to the little, geeky manager guy?
For disrespecting him?
Just as a respect thing. Garrett, what do you think?
To turn him on?
No, we wanted to still get the coupons. That's why. Really? That's exactly what
Son of a bitch.
No, but he's figured, well, she's pregnant. I better get the half off the Pampers. Because I can't think of any other reason. Now, it's strictly speculation on my part. So, that was a huge story. Christina, you really ought to look at the guy's name is Andrew Pohl. Then he takes polls. He was Pohl. He's a statistician for Target. And they, if we wanted to figure out if a customer is pregnant, even if she didn't want us to know, we can do that.
But what if she just happened to be on vacation and bought pads somewhere else?
Put it to you this way. They're correct in the 90 percentile.
Okay. I mean, I have a CVS card, and on there, if they swipe it, you get these discounts, but it also helps them keep track of what kind of a shopper you are.
They look at what you buy, and they can tell when you need something, and they will send you coupons specific to your needs.
Exactly. Like, I've never received a coupon for diapers, ever, but I've received coupons for things that, I buy on a regular basis.
For anal ease. Did you ever get a coupon for anal ease from your...
Well, sometimes. It comes up very rarely.
Garrett, I'm alone in a room, yet I look to the left as if you were standing there so I could see your reaction.
Elbow me?
No, yeah. Got that one? You got it? I want everyone to know it.
Well, I just...
coffee, if you buy a certain brand of coffee, they won't send you the coupon. Now, this is just all in some giant, computer somewhere. But it's got to be in the hundreds of times more information than the government has on you. Well, everybody's worried about the government. It's the friggin' stores.
I just Googled my name, and this mylife.com site came up.
Right.
And it's a whole profile about me like I wrote it.
No way.
Yeah, it says, my name is Garrett L. Andritz. I was born in 1977. I currently live in Astoria, which I don't. Before that, I lived in Wading River, which I
Are you shocked to read this? Is this the first time?
Yeah, and it has the dates I lived places. And
that's exactly right.
So off the grid because
I'm
mine
related
have a date.
to. It says I'm related to Nancy Smith, which I'm not. I guess it's
now. You can go in there and you can edit all of that yourself, and then you're going to have to prove that you're Garrett Andritz. Now listen to this one. When you prove it, now they really have you.
Yeah, now they really know the info.
They got you. That's exactly. Oh, I see. Oh, look, you can go on and see all kind of horrifying shit. Thank God I talk about it on the radio, but it took me years to get my addresses removed, and oh my God, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. I don't even use a home address. I, have always used another address. I had to go to the state of California. They stopped that because some guy killed this actress. He went to the DMV, typed her name in, her address came up, and he walked up, rang the doorbell, she opened it, and he shot her ass dead because he was enamored with her on a TV show years and years ago. And they passed a law after that, you can't just find out where, from the DMV. Crazy shit. Yeah. Now this friggin' Target. It's unbelievable. So now is your day ruined because of this?
Well, I clicked yes, this is me, and then to get it removed, all my information.
That's right. You know what's funny? In all the years I've been doing this with you, I've never heard you affected by anything.
I'm just annoyed that they wrote it like I wrote it. Hi, my name's Garrett Andritz. I was born in,
You know who wrote
this
that?
is the information.
You know who wrote? Can we go around the horn, please?
Oh, wow.
You know who wrote that? You can't even answer. Gary, you know who wrote, "Hi, I'm Garrett Andritz"?
It was Garrett's deaf girlfriend from
His deaf girlfriend from a long time ago. I would teach the dirty bastard. What do you think it is, Christina?
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates is doing it. You know what I think? It's another Garrett Andrews. That's what I think. And he just happened to live in all those places you lived. That's all. Right after you. So, when you put your guest ID number in, that's when they really get you. You know what? He might be a good guest, huh, Garrett? Would you like to? Yeah.
Yeah.
Might be a good.
Yeah.
Oh, you're no. Are you so upset now that we're going to have to deal with you? You're not able to do the show and all that stuff? I mean, I lived through one of my friends' deaths, okay? I went on the air with cancer in the family. I've had horrible things happen. You've got to put it out of your mind until 6:01 p.m. Eastern Time. Then you can deal with it. But I'm telling you, it is disturbing. The address thing is really disturbing.
Well, the good news is me having sex in a Catholic church doesn't come up on the first page of Google.
Thanks. Well, there you go. Okay. I don't know why that's.
But
so
on
funny.
page 2 is my picture of Kevin Bacon made of bacon. Remember when we had that guy on?
You're going to go
Okay.
down in history.
Kevin of Atlanta, Georgia. Yes, Kevin, it's Jay Thomas. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Hey, it's an honor to speak to you. Honor.
Well, doggone it, it ought to be.
Hey, I got an experiment. See if we can try this out.
Yeah.
See if we can get Christina to stop buying her tampons from CVS and see if they start sending her diaper tampons.
All right, you know what,
So it's gonna
Christina?
be what?
If you stop buying, this is a very good test. Do you buy your tampons at the CVS?
Yeah, normally,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Buy, and I'll reimburse you. Buy your tampons someplace else, and over the next couple of months, buy some baby formula or a diaper or something, and let's see if they start sending you
Or how about
coupons.
this? A pregnancy test.
I don't want to be jinxed with a pregnancy test.
You
Let's
won't.
keep it
No,
with-
no, but you won't take. Well, you can't. How can you get
Just
pregnant?
buying it just is a bad
a mojo.
omen. Let's just keep it.
Don't you
so that,
have
know.
a half of an orange peel inside of you that keeps the sperm from getting to the uterus?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Isn't
that's
that how
what
you
I
do
do.
it?
I shove
That's what-
orange peels up my vagina.
Wow.
What?
Excuse.
Smells
That's
so
what
nice.
that's what Cleopatra did. You take an orange peel,
Is
or
that what you're
or
supposed
you
to do
take
to your
lemon-
garbage disposal?
Citrus Fresh.
and you
Just like a sponge.
guys. How do you think they had birth control back in the Roman or the Middle Ages and all? They took a piece of fruit and they put it over the cervix just like a diaphragm.
Ew.
And when the cum came out, it was being blocked, but also the citrus acid they felt killed the sperm.
And that's where the term "eat you out" comes from.
Well, by the way, do you know what they called people that used that birth control method?
No.
Parents. Useless. Doesn't work. Doesn't work at all.
Hey, Jay, one more thing, please.
Yes, Kevin. Now, you know what, Christina? I like this. Would you do it?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay, and then give me the bills. Yes, go ahead.
Hey, any chance I can get 8x10?
Sure, just give Christina the address. Now, of course, what's going to happen now, Garrett, is I'm going to pay some of these, bills for Christina, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now we have to see how long it takes my wife to be a smartest target and go, oh, my God, he got that woman pregnant at the fucking station. What is this? What is this? I go, what? Baby formula, pregnancy test. What is it? And where do you live? In Queens? You live in Queens?
Yeah.
In Queens, for Christ's sakes. That's the kind of trouble I'm going to get in. A friend of mine called after the show yesterday and said one of the funniest things he heard was when the ventriloquist was trying to teach us, the guy that had gone to the Supreme Court, and he went, it's just like when you just talk to your wife, oh, go fuck yourself, you old bitch. Oh, go fuck yourself. He said we're all ventriloquists. So anyway, we've talked about a lot of things, but please read the Supreme Court stuff from our guest yesterday. It is really it's fun to read it, and they're going to make these huge, decisions, and it's going to be like either 6-3 or 5-4 or whatever, and then it becomes law, and it starts them about all of us. 4 of us would be talking about what is a lie and what does free speech really entail. Can I tell a lie that advances me in my career, even though I do a good job? Can I be fired for that, and are you infringing on my free speech if you fire me? And that's, I don't know how you would decide that, to be honest.
Can you say when like George Bush Sr. became president and he said, read my lips, no new taxes, and then he gave more taxes?
That's in there.
It is? Could you say he lied and to get the job?
The articles, there's a bunch of them. They say that the Supreme, like, you're just like a Supreme Court justice. Of course, that Clarence Thomas has never asked a question from the bench. Did you know that?
Wow.
He's never said a word from the bench, ever.
You never hear his name, really.
Nope. He's never said anything. It's unbelievable. He's like a friggin', ornament, It's odd. But the other justices talk just like you just said. You go, well, what about when they said that in the argument, wow. And each lawyer has to hurry up and think of something, I'd be good at that. Wow! I would start every sentence if I was in front of the Supreme Court. Wow! Like that. And I would have suspenders, and I would put my thumbs in them, and I'd go, Your Honors and Your Honoresses. That's for the women. I come before this esteemed. They can say, okay, shut up. They can do that. They don't have to listen to you. It's really great. So they will decide on lying by the summertime. I think that if you're doing really well at your job and they really like you, they'll try and save you. But if they're not happy with you and they catch you in a lie, you're more likely to get fired. Yeah. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, if they don't hate you, they'll just overlook it. But if they want to get rid of you, that's the first red flag that's going to come up.
Let's take the coach at Ohio State.
Jim Tressel?
His players were trading tattoos for, tickets or T-shirts or something.
Jerseys or
But it was, let's say it's in the hundreds of dollars. And somewhere in the bylaws of the NCAA, that's illegal. And maybe tattoos isn't used, but it's, services. So they catch him. So I think, okay, how bad is that? Don't ever do it again, right? They throw all those kids off the team. One guy goes to the pros, the quarterback. They put the school on probation, and they fire the coach, and he can't coach in college for 5 years. That's insane to me. That was the most insane thing I've ever heard. If it was heroin, that's what you would do. What would they have done if they were trading it for heroin? What would they have done? So to me, that lie or cover-up, or whatever they accused him of, just wasn't heinous. And he lost his job. Now, he'll be fine. I think he's the president, not the president. He's something at Akron University or whatever. But it ruined his life. It destroyed him.
The Colts were looking to hire him, too.
They did use him it's up in the booth, and he's, a lot of guys don't like the pro game. A lot of college guys get to the pros, and these guys don't listen to what the coach says. And Belichick has got, going. Even your guy at the Jets, once they turned against him, they just fucked him. They just flat fucked him. If you don't think your team didn't fuck their coach, you're wrong. I think they turned against him. I mean,
everyone said he had no idea what was really
but they'd already
on.
done it. He lost control of his team in the locker room. You think Bill Belichick's not going to know what's going on? I don't think he knew about the spying. He knows about all of it.
The thing that got me was every day there's reporters in the locker room and the reporting and 2 or 3 new stories every day during the season. Not one person knew about this infighting between the team.
Do our listeners really know what really goes? If it was just our show, does our listener really know? I mean, we joke around about it,
but they don't come in here and interview us after the show.
There are plenty of people coming through the halls.
They're not here when we're prepping and asking and looking.
Well,
around.
neither are the reporters either. They wouldn't do it in front of them. You wouldn't do it. Like you and I wouldn't have an argument in front of a lot of people at Sirius or in front of reporters, and yet we could be having a strained relationship away from the show.
But all the time they're like, Kyle Orton is looking to get traded, said an inside source from the organization.
Ball boy. I'm not joking. But
how does this story of the team hating each other and fight, Mark Sanchez and Santonio Holmes can't stand each other, that didn't get out? But, Rex Ryan's wife likes foot things, and that gets out. Like,
right.
How do they not find the obvious thing?
Because no one talked about it. It's bad for them, and it can cost them money. Look, I don't think when you are really pissed off, you let everybody in the building know about it. I just don't, because it doesn't get you anywhere. But you let a lot of people know other things about yourself, and I do too. Right? Do you agree with this, Christina? That we can keep a secret if we have to?
Yes,
sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we don't have people probing us constantly.
We do. Are you kidding?
All day long.
I mean, look on the fan pages. They'll find out anything they can, and they'll tell everybody. And it's true. If you and I really were having a problem, and you had said it, who'd tell Larry. The guy Larry is up there listening right now. He loves telling stories on people.
Poor Larry.
Poor Larry. He's like a ball boy, Hey, you know what I'm hearing? That other Garrett Andritz, Jay likes him better than the real Garrett Andritz, the one that's, that Garrett found on the internet. Jay's been hanging out with that other Garrett Andritz. What? We're drinking together, and we're Giants fans together, Let's go to Deg. Is it D-E-G of North Carolina? Deg? Doug. It's Southern. Hey, Gary.
Yeah.
Doug. Not Deg.
Well,
how about, and by the way, you know what?
What?
Ass-T. And I don't mean Asti Spumante. I mean Asti. See? Okay. Go ahead, Doug.
I wonder if you could find out through a website if someone was really in service, because I work,
Yeah.
The guy said he was a helicopter pilot. We don't believe it, but he, by his age and stuff, there's no way he could have been in Vietnam. I wonder if you could find out.
You can find out who's been. Now, does he say he's won medals?
No, sir. He said he was one of the last ones to fly to Saigon and all this stuff. But, he's really not even old enough.
Well, you can find out if he was an Army helicopter pilot. Like,
right.
My dad fought on a ship called the Salt Lake City. And we went on the internet, and some guy even sent me a picture of him planning the battle of this crazy-sounding island. It almost sounded German. I have to look at it again. He fought in the Marshall Islands and the Coral Sea and in those areas around Guam and all. And this was kind of a weird-sounding island. And sure enough, he's on the roster of the ship. And that's how you do it. You go back to the roster. That his helicopter group, they'll probably have a reunion source and everything else. You can find out. Yeah.
So if you find like what division or something he's in, they keep a roster as a record forever. Is that correct?
Yes. And if he's lying about it to you guys, he might have put it on the internet.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you a lot.
All right. And what are you going to do when you catch him? What are you going to do?
Nothing. Nothing. I mean, just he just tells these horrendous stories and everybody. It's a big joke, but he thinks people believe it.
Well, after you find out, you print it all out, you put it in an envelope, and you mail it to him, with no return address.
And a chicken bone.
And a chicken bone to choke on. Yeah, that'll help. Yeah, you just mail it to him, and and then you guys have had a hell of a day after that.
Yes, sir. All right. Thank you a lot.
Thank you. Nothing like catching a liar.
That is true.
Hey, Jay, it's me, Doc. I did everything you said. Yeah, he hung himself yesterday. We didn't want him to die. Oh, God, we didn't want him to die, Jay. I'm sorry. Did you send him the chicken bone? Yeah, oh, God, yes. He didn't know what it meant. Oh, damn. What am I going to do? Todd's dead. Oh, well. All right. We'll be right back. Oh, I love this.
It's the time of the season.
Wait, don't tell me. Hold on.
When love runs high.
Doggone it. Time of the season by the Zombies.
Yes.
Wow. And you know I can't. You know why I don't use the computer to get answers?
You can't?
Can't do it. Wait till they start iMessaging me tonight. Now, the other two hosts on this fantasy thing, they're not able to speak to me, like, during the commercial break. So no matter how horrified they are by my performance, I'll never be able to hear it. Let's go to Kevin of St. Louis. Hey, Kevin, it's Jay Thomas.
Hey, Jay, how you doing?
Good. Do you tune in St. Louis every night to listen to Kay Adams?
Kay Adams? No, I listen to the 104.1, the black station, not the sports stuff.
Oh, I see. No, she's on Sirius, Kay Adams.
Oh, no. When I'm at the studio, I usually just the rap music. Usually at night, I'm listening to Shade 45 or something rap related for real.
But you've never heard in the St. Louis market of Kay Adams? She had to be famous there.
I've heard of Kay Jewelers, but
Kay Jewelers,
Every kiss
but not
begins with K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm just checking. She's a co-host tonight on the fantasies. Next to being in, what's that show Howard's on, that talent thing? What is it?
America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
America's Got Talent.
This is like Sykeston, Missouri's Got Talent. That's what this is like.
Hey, I got some family down in the boot here. I know.
Well, isn't that nice? Now, what did you call about?
Well, actually, I went to Walmart a couple of weeks ago. I bought some cocoa butter, and I bought a season of Martin Lawrence. And Walmart sent me a coupon for some goddamn fried chicken.
All right, get him off the fucking phone. What a racist asshole. I didn't believe he listened to Shade 45 for 1 minute. Let's go to Jim of Toronto. Yes, Jim. Jay Thomas. Yes, sir.
Hey, Jay. Great to talk to you, man. I love your show.
Thank you.
Hey, listen, when you walk into a big mall, turn your phone off because they can track you, where you go, what you buy, where you're.
You mean the stores can track your phone?
The big malls. When you walk into a big shopping center, like with a whole bunch of stores in it, they know what stores you're going into, where you're standing. It's like GPS once you walk in there.
But isn't that... No, wait a minute. Isn't that to stop you from shoplifting or something?
No, that's just to find out what you're buying. They have a blueprint of what's in the stores, what stores you're going into. So if you're standing in front of a rack, they know what's on the rack, and they know what you're looking at.
No. There's no way they could pinpoint that close with your cell phone.
Yes, they can.
Jim, do you also think that 3 people shot JFK?
Yeah, I do. But
I knew it. I absolutely. Now that's what I do for a living. That's you know what? If there's any genius in me at all, that's it. At 3:46, what Eastern time? Mark it down. That was the best thing since Kreskin. That's the best thing I've done. You are a fucking nut. They're not. You're a fucking nut. They're not following you around. A buddy of mine is a doctor, and I will not go to him because he's this crazy. He thinks they've got microphones in the office building he's in, and they listen to him through the vents. I swear to God. So we're in there, and he goes, whisper. I tell you, there's microphones in here. I go, are you nuts? They don't have.
Jim, how do they know if you buy something or you're not just staying there because your girlfriend's trying something on?
they know what you're looking at, so that they know, like, when you walk into the store, into the...
Do they have a picture of you taking a dump in the mall restroom?
They can recognize who you are, so you can walk past one of those advertisements, those big billboard things in the mall, and they know they can broadcast you like, "Hello, Jim, how are you today?"
That's in Minority Report.
You're so nuts. You are so full of that. It is not true, you idiot. They can't say, "Oh, hello, Jay." What the fuck? You know? Are you kidding?
True.
Hello, Jim in Toronto. Holy shit. You're full of shit.
Me?
No.
I'm telling you the truth.
All right, look. The next thing you hear is nothing. Get rid of it. Please. Now, you know what's sick? If he was acting, he was good. Because I think of course I believe Kennedy was shot by 19 people. By the way, on maybe the History Channel, there is a new conspiracy theory that these guys have debunked the other day about JFK's killing. 3 shots, right, by Lee Harvey Oswald. First of all, this is what I think is weird. Up in the depository, the ejected shell casings were found where Lee Harvey Oswald was shooting, and I think he left the gun behind, I think. But they have the shell casings. In every movie you've ever seen, whoever shoots somebody picks up the shell casings, right, and stashes the gun or breaks it down or whatever. Why wouldn't Lee Harvey Oswald, if he was the shooter in that position, why wouldn't he have picked up all the shell casings and gotten rid of the gun that maybe could be traced back to him? Isn't that odd?
It is.
Now, that's not the conspiracy. The conspiracy is he shot 3 shells. What happened to the first one? The second one hit Kennedy when he was 200 and something yards away. The first one, he was only 100 yards away or 75. And so that would have been an easier shot. And they feel that Lee Harvey Oswald shot once, missed, shot twice, hit, 3 times, and hit, right? Mm-hmm. They went and found a light pole that was right in the way of the car. And they found a puncture wound on a picture of the traffic light. And they figure the first bullet hit the traffic light. Then they found a guy who was under a bridge and his face was cut after the first shot. The bullet ricocheted off the traffic light, hit the concrete, threw up some debris, and cut this guy's neck.
So a new magic bullet?
Yes, it was the first bullet.
Yeah, I always heard the first one like hit a curb or something.
That's they found the guy that it hit. You can't turn it off when they start this nonsense. Who took the picture? A little 13-year-old girl happened to have her dad's camera that day. My favorite is the one woman has a camera. She gets so excited when the car comes, she puts the camera down by her side, so all you see is like people's feet. No, you hear the shots and all, and the people's feet running. That's all you see.
I never realized that the public didn't see the video of it until like 5 years later.
No, we weren't allowed to see anything.
Yeah, I just thought that it was out right away.
LBJ said toward, the end of his life, of course it was a conspiracy. There are lots of people, and the Warren report, nobody believed it. It was probably a conspiracy in that you could still do that back then. Mm-hmm. If you could still do it now, lots of people would be being shot at and killed by, various groups and everything else. It's just harder to do it now.
Did you hear that some, I don't want to say PETA, but animal rights activists hired goons to kill people that wear fur coats or any type of fur? They hired a hitman to go around just kill people wearing fur.
Where'd you
I just saw it on the.
You and Jim at Toronto have been hanging out, or Ken, whatever his name was. Okay. And how'd they track him? With their cell phone?
Ohio animal rights activists.
Right.
Meredith Lowell charged with hiring hitman to murder random fur wearer.
I love it. Do they have anybody's name in there we can talk to? Anybody?
Meredith Lowell, that's her.
Well, no, she's under arrest.
Yeah.
Send that to Andrea.
She offered $850.
Oh, get anybody. I got to talk to him. That's fabulous.
Okay.
I love it. So you just wait. Now, was there a specific fur-wearing person?
The ideal candidate would live in Northeast Ohio, according to the FBI.
A rich person? Mm-hmm.
I guess.
And they were going to walk out with their fur coat, and this thug, for $850, would pop them.
And she wanted it to be at least 12 years, but preferably 14 years old or older, outside a library near a playground.
Wait a minute. She wanted them to shoot kids?
At least 12, but, preferably 14 and older.
Wait a minute. A 14-year-old would be wearing a fur coat?
I guess.
What did she find? Some sort of Neanderthal, village? I mean, you don't see little kids wearing fur.
Yeah, I don't know. It says.
You know what? She's a complete nut. So she tried to get a hitman, and now the cops, I guess, sent an undercover guy, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, it was an undercover agent that.
Of course it was. Yeah. It's like these bombers that they get. They'll find these nuts who want to bomb something. So they get a bunch of FBI guys, and they start talking to this nut, and they know full and well they're going to get in the front page for a fabulous arrest, right?
Mm-hmm.
All they had to do was go, hey, we're the FBI. We know you're talking about bombs. Yeah. You better stop it. That's the end of that. Or call the woman. Hey, what's her first name?
Meredith.
You're not going to shoot anybody because they're wearing fur.
Knock it off.
Stop it. Oh, my God. Yeah, you'll go to jail for life if you do this. Okay, goodbye. That's all you have to do. I mean, I'm right about that, right? Just warn me.
But I think they want to get the higher-ups. Well, not in this case.
What higher-ups?
In the bombing cases.
I don't think so. Before this hour is over, we will talk to a guy who had a dream.
Martin Luther King?
No.
Oh.
Martin Luther
King. Dreamer, Garrett.
Yeah, well, there you go. He's a dreamer, and that's in the headlines. And the next thing you know, his dream is making him, $1 million a year? His dream.
In sales, yeah.
In sales, $1 million probably takes away, $400,000 or $500,000 from that.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have a guy on who's a FedEx delivery man who predicted on the internet and has been doing kind of this Moneyball stuff in his, well, you've seen a picture of his living room, haven't you, Garrett?
Yes.
Yeah, not the nicest living room I've ever seen. In his FedEx uniform, he has been deciding who should be the number one picks. And is it only basketball? It's really just...
That's all I saw. I think it's only basketball.
For the NBA, and he saw this guy, Jeremy Lin, the big star now for the Knicks.
They play the Heat tonight. It's a big game.
He saw that this guy was going to be this great years ago. FedEx guy. I would imagine that some team will eventually hire this guy because when they look at his stats, he's been doing this forever. And he's just got all of, and if you look now, he's got all the names.
It's like hiring a lotto winner to pick lotto numbers for you.
No, it isn't.
One shot in a million type of thing. And
no, if they look, his research shows lots of guys. I'm telling you, he's a Moneyball kind of guy. No. You're going to be a real live Moneyball guy.
I did read through his stats, and they were kind of.
You know what's wrong with you? I bring a guy on, and you act like it's luck.
It is.
It isn't. He's doing the stats like Moneyball.
It's like,
and he saw this guy in the hinterlands and said, and that there's more than that.
Like 2 or 3 years ago in the fantasy football draft, my last pick, I picked Miles Austin because he was just the third receiver on the Cowboys. And he turned into like a 1,200-yard receiver and 15 touchdowns. It wasn't because I studied him. I just got lucky. You get lucky sometimes.
But you don't do it this guy's been doing it for years. Just this guy, Lynn, happens to be the newest one.
All right.
Do you know that a guy at ESPN got fired when they had a loss one night and they said Knicks have a chink in their armor?
It was a headline on their website.
A headline on the website. That guy got fired from his job. And I think a reporter on one of the panel shows, he repeated the headline, but they continued talking about whether the guy was for real or not.
Yeah.
Whether he was going to help the Knicks or not, or whether he was going to be a chink in their armor. And they said it a couple of times. They've been reprimanded.
Well, the worst was the follow-up headline, Jingo Pee-Pee in your Coke. I couldn't believe that one.
They did.
Man.
They did. They did. I don't even know what that means. What does that mean?
It's you know, an Asian racial joke. Kids
wow, that was horrible.
Me play jokes, me go pee-pee in your Coke, something like that.
No, that was not the second headline. So I'm trying to get the poor bastard that was fired, on the show. Let's go to Mark of Jacksonville.
Is he claiming ignorance?
Yeah, he is. He's saying, didn't really think about it,
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, right.
It's hard to.
Hard, yeah. Well, let's let the Supreme Court decide, okay? Let's go to Mark in Jacksonville. That'll all be cleared up in June, okay? Yes, Mark, go ahead.
Hey, Jay, great show.
Thank you.
I wanted to say why there wasn't a Kennedy conspiracy on his assassination is the exact same reason we know there was a conspiracy to kill fur-wearing people in northern Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if somebody...
Wait a minute. Wait a second. I don't know. I'm not following this.
He's saying that if someone gets busted for trying to hire a hitman for $800 in Ohio, they're going to find out if someone was hired by some secret society to kill the president. I'm guessing.
There'd have to be hundreds of people involved in a conspiracy to kill Kennedy.
Well, you know what? I don't know if it was hundreds, but I do believe that Carlos Marcello out of New Orleans, who ran the mob, and those guys were really mad at his brother, Robert Kennedy. And Kennedy, he was, fucking some guy's girlfriend, right? He was fucking Judith Exner. And, I've actually heard so many interviews by old mob guys before they died, and no one believed them. And they all said the hitmen came from Tampa. They stopped in New Orleans. They said where they went. That's where Jim Garrison got his idea from. Mm-hmm. Then they went to Dallas, and Lee Harvey Oswald was part of it. But that's why when he was being arrested, he said, "I'm a patsy," because he was figuring out what was going down. And then when he was gunned down by Jack Ruby, that to me was the typical mob hit. We're going to protect you. You're going to be a hero for killing the guy, but this guy can't talk. But Danny Aiello came on my show. We yelled and screamed at each other. He kept saying, "Oh, that's crazy. He was a great American. He was a patriot." Bullshit. He was a fucking strip show owner or whatever. He carried out an assassination himself. That's why I think, look, these guys, when they could, did all kind of bad shit. And I think they got the president shot. And if you're going to hire someone to kill the president, you go with guys that know how to kill people.
Look, Jeff Ruby said for years that that's exactly what he was doing, that he was hired by somebody, but he could never prove that he had been hired by somebody.
Well, he died of cancer in prison.
Yeah, in 67. But once that theory started to float around that he was silencing the hitman, he said, "Yeah, that was me." And then they asked, "Well, prove it." He never could.
Look, to wrap this up, because we can go in circles the rest of our lives, everybody says, "Oh, my God, some guy's going to be the president. We're in trouble. Oh, my God, next guy's going to be the president." We had a guy killed. Somebody shot the president, and the country, went into a tailspin. And we had another, LBJ became the president. Nobody even, knew anything hardly about him, but he was a big leader. And it all turned out okay. That's why I don't get too excited by who ends up being,
Didn't
elected.
Martin Luther King get shot around the same time?
Not at the same time, years later. And then, then Robert Kennedy, that was completely fucking nuts. And
then they shot at Reagan and
Medgar Evers and all that. And then assassination stopped. They quit doing it. Isn't that weird? When I was like, late high school and college, every couple of years there was an assassination. It was crazy. And then it stopped. It's like now being frightened of the terrorists, right? And the bombings. There'll be a time when it just stops. It's weird, All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Let's go to Steve of Pennsylvania. Yes, Steve, it's Jay Thomas. Yeah.
Hey, Jay, how you doing, bud?
Good.
Hey, first of all, where else can you talk to a widely known TV celebrity so easily? So,
I don't know. You know what? I'm sure there are other people on the radio that you can talk to.
But not as important as you.
Well,
Danny Bonaducci.
Danny Bonaducci, thank you.
I said not as big as you.
Really?
Anyway, this.
His career was over at 15, and mine was just beginning, Gary. Mine was just starting. So yeah. Yes. Well, Let me bathe in the bright light of that for a moment. Or Steve, it's my bad luck that this is happening to me. You can also think that. Yes, Steve, go ahead.
All right, this pedo woman that was looking to hire the hitman. First of all, she went on Facebook, and that's where she first posted looking for a hitman. So that was
So now they're yelling, they're saying what a big arrest it is. This terrorist guy not in Poughkeepsie, but in one of those towns on the way to Woodstock, Newburgh. They get this guy, and the FBI they sold him all of the makings of the bomb. So there wasn't like another group that he was going to. They got this one guy. He wanted to make a bomb and kill a bunch of...
They were in it from the beginning.
So the FBI got all the shit, and I'm thinking, just fucking tell him that we know and to stop it, and that's the end of that. There was no higher up. There was nobody.
This woman, she wanted to when the killing went down, she wanted to be informed when the guy was gonna to do the killing because she wanted to be there to hand out leaflets afterwards so that she would then be arrested and her cause would be known.
So the person with the fur coat would be laying dead in the street.
Correct.
And bleeding and moaning, and she would have handouts.
Yes, sir.
It almost makes you wish it had happened, Garrett. It really does. It almost makes you wish. Not a child, of course.
Right, but
some evil woman is wearing a fur coat, and keep talking. And she's gunned down. Well, thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. Nice going. Thank you, Steve, so much. Yeah.
No one would ever suspect that the woman handing out pamphlets around the murder had something to do with it, right?
Yeah, another fabulous arrest. Let's go to Todd of Maryland. Yes, Todd, it's Jay Thomas.
Hey, Jay, how you doing?
Good.
Hey, the quickest way to call out these people that want to brag about their service record, I'm a former Marine. Mm-hmm. Everybody gets a DD-214.
Wait a minute. How do we know? You're a former Marine?
I have a DD-214.
Wait a minute. Hold on a minute.
So do I.
I just got... Did you send me the email?
Yeah.
You get a DD-214.
No. Did you send me the email about that, Todd?
Oh, Todd.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Yeah, I was looking at that, and I didn't have time to look it up. What is a homeless guy says, I'm a vet, give me money. What is a DD? What is it, a DD-2?
It's a DD-214, 1-4.
Right.
Every service member gets discharged, and it says your service years, your awards, where you were, and if you were honorably discharged or not. Most companies, if you put down that you were a veteran, will ask for the DD-214 discharge. I have mine on file at the
I bet you do. You probably have it in glass over your desk.
Well, no, they told us as we were being discharged, put this in. This is your service record. This is the proof of your service.
So I guess I should take that picture down of my uncle lifting the flag over Iwo Jima, Garrett. Because he doesn't have this, whatever this number is. I looked it up immediately. I don't think he was there. I really don't. So, all right. Thank you very much.
Well,
By the way.
Can I ask one more thing, Jay?
What?
44, 38, 44. Am I close?
Who's that?
I'm continuing the contest. It went so long. I thought we were still doing it.
You know what? You got me to the number. All right, I'll see you later. There you go. You got me right on the fucking button. Now, let's go back to the point of the guy saying, wow, you can talk to this TV guy, right? Mm-hmm. It used to... What's weird is years ago, quiz show hosts and stuff also sometimes had radio shows, right? So you'd see some famous quiz show host, and then you'd go to L.A. or New York for vacation or whatever, and you'd hear them on the radio also.
Like any names, like Wink Martindale?
Like a Wink Martindale, but Bob Eubanks would be on the radio. And you know who was on the radio forever? The guy from... Yeah, but also the guy from Laugh In, the announcer who held his ear.
Oh, yeah.
Gosh, and I've known him forever. He was on the air until, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. You hear this. And then every now and again,
Gary
Owens, thanks. Every now and again, I knew a guy that imitated him and is still a disc jockey someplace, and he calls himself Gary Burbank. Isn't that fun? That's his whole career, imitating him. Then you have, you would hear a famous old singer, and he would have a show on the radio. Like, there was a guy named Julius LaRosa. You ever heard of him?
No.
He was an old singer, like a Sinatra guy and all. So I come to New York one time, and I hear this old beat-up singer, but he's got a radio show from noon until 3. And he would go, yeah, one time when I was backstage at the Copacabana. That would be his for years. And I thought, what a fucking loser. Every anything that was on the radio, fucking loser. You know? That's what the guy just made me feel. It means you're not doing that big shit anymore because you're too easy to get to.
Yeah.
Now I'm one of you. I'm back down the ladder again. I'm on the bottom rung of Maslow's triangle. I feel like you do, Garrett, when you looked yourself up online and saw there was a whole nother person that lived in all the places you lived.
Like doppelganger.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. Or how about Bill Dungsroman? Sometimes your story is it's a story, a Bill's Dung-Roman story. Bill's Dung-Roman. Doesn't sound like a word, but it is. And it means something. The other day I was reading a novel that certainly was Bill's Dung-Roman. What a life. Oh, perestroika. Let's go to Soul Dog of Chicago, Illinois. Hello, Soul Dog.
What's going on, Jay? I got two things to say, man. For one, Garrett, you don't put Hawaiian Punch or Kool-Aid in Colt 45. You put that in white port or Wild Irish Rose wine. You put that in wine, not malt liquor.
Old E? You put it in Old E?
No, you don't. No, you don't put no damn Kool-Aid in no beer. Hell no, you don't do that. Hell no.
You don't put the other day. I forget who we're talking. Oh, we're talking to the guy from the Heart Attack Grill, and he serves ghetto drinks. And I said, that's kind of racist, isn't it? And he said, no. And Garrett piped in with his comment that a majority of black people drink.
No, it's not a majority.
Is it Old Milwaukee? What is it?
It ain't a majority.
It isn't a majority. All right.
It ain't a majority. But
so Garrett was incorrect about the majority of a minority.
Well, that was when you was young and you was able to first, drink. That was back during the day when there were winos before crackheads, and you get the wino to go buy you something to drink at the liquor store, and you would give him some money to get him something. You get you some white port or some Wild Irish Rose, and you would put Kool-Aid or Hawaiian Punch in that. But the other thing is...
Well, wait, did you hear my joke about that? When you drink that and you fart, you have Hawaiian music.
Yeah, that was funny.
Thank you. Well, thank you. Hey, by the way, while we're on this subject, I do have a question to ask you, Soul Dog. You ready? In L.A., the two afternoon guys that are number one at this big radio station, they went on a tirade against Whitney Houston. And they said all the things that were being reported. She was completely, nuts and was doing somersaults and was drunk, and Clive Davis and Aretha Franklin or all of her cousins and they just, knew all this was happening, but no one helped her. And so they were saying all this stuff. And then the guy said, my God, they're giving her this big tribute, and she's this crazy crack hoe running around. And the guy said crack-o twice. They suspended them. Not for the stuff that they were saying about Whitney, but because when they said crack-ho, it immediately insulted a group of black individuals. Now, don't you think white people steal words and like slapping five and knuckle bumping and saying the word hoe, immediately that becomes an insult to black people?
Well, my father told me a long time ago, if you throw a rock into a pack of dogs, the one that bark is the one that get hit by the rock. If you got offended, you must be a hoe. That's just like the thing with Don Ives. I was watching that game at the same time, and I was looking at that game. I got family in South Jersey. And I was watching that. I was like, damn, there's some nappy-headed asshole running up and down that court. And he said that shit right after I said it. But I was in my house, and there ain't nobody. But to get to the other point, the guy who was talking about the phones and the billboards, think about this. It's not impossible. Everybody's phone has Bluetooth and Wi-Fi.
Oh, stop it. You're not going to start with the fucking conspiracy.
Listen.
What?
I'm saying it's not impossible. Everybody has Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. And right now, if you turn your Wi-Fi on and say scan for devices, every phone in that room within 40 or 50 feet will come up with a phone. Every phone will pop up on your phone.
Well, you need to buy a new phone because this connection's terrible.
No, it will. Every phone with Bluetooth on or Wi-Fi on.
So what do you think is more dangerous, the United States government or Target or the mall stores?
I don't give a shit about that. I'm just saying it's not impossible. How much?
You mean you don't care that they know everything about you?
What can you do? They got cameras on every they got cameras on every light post. They can follow you from here to there. If you try to lie to your insurance company and say your car was stolen in a particular place, they can look at all the damn cameras in the area to see if your car drove past that place.
Huh.
So it's not impossible. So if every phone if Christina can scan her phone right now and pick up Garrett's phone and everybody else in that room within 50 feet, and it'll ask you if you want to connect. Now, how much more does it take to write a program, because your phone information is stored? If you look on your phone, it says phone information.
I can't take your phone anymore. All right, Soul Dog, I got to say goodbye to you. All right, I'll see you later. God. Terrible phone. Now, you know what I think sometimes? Those aren't even real listeners. Those are people that work for the sneaky companies. You know what I'm saying?
To keep us off the track?
Well, and say it's okay. Mm-hmm. It's in there, it's okay.
Well, I didn't give him any credence after he didn't know pouring Kool-Aid in Old E is a
that would just
drink.
Ruin the flavor of the beer. That's what's so weird to me.
It's Old E. It's like $2 for a 40 ounce,
What is Old E?
Old English?
Oh, that malt liquor shit?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's why you pour Kool-Aid in it.
Oh, God. That wouldn't even be... You know what? That's more... You get drunk and then you just have gas after you drink that. That's just bad, slimy shit.
Oh, yeah. That's why, it's for college students and such.
Todd, Cleveland, Ohio, 888-410-2-102. Yes, Todd, go ahead.
Jay, it's such an honor to follow the great philosopher there, Soul Dog. With all
yes, it was a real moment to cherish.
Yes, it was.
Especially when I thought, fuck you, man. And I get to put an MD for it. Yeah.
Hey, did you see Inside Edition the last couple of days? They've had interviews with the ex-limo driver, Whitney Houston, and he basically verifies your story. And the story was that Whitney Houston was in the back seat with another big star, and they were half naked going at it. And Bobby Brown sat there.
Another woman, right?
Yes, another woman.
Right.
And Bobby Brown sat there and smoked crack and watched these two go at it. And I said, Jay, hit that one.
Now, by
right
the
on.
way, we have to say, did the driver really say this on Access
Absolutely, yeah. Go to the website.
Well, let's get. We want to say now that all this is alleged. Even what I said about seeing her many years ago in Boston at a promotion we had at a big department store, and I still think that when you have these secrets, when you have these desires, and religiously and culturally and every other way, and for your career, you can't let them out, it friggin' destroys you. It's just, like if I was gay, I would never want anyone to know I was gay. I don't know what I would do, but I think if it was destroying me, I would go, okay, all right, I'm going to have to admit this, and just because I'm sick, I'm like going into places I shouldn't be going. You know what I mean?
Just think of the ceremony that they would have had for her at that church to try to stop her from being gay. If the funeral was 4 hours long, how long would have been the to try to straighten her out ceremony?
Yeah, I mean, it's terrible because then you start with then that Bobby Brown was into all that shit. That's what the driver was saying.
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
It's been on the past 2 nights. And Jay, I got a real quick question for you.
Tell you what, I'd have partied with him, Garrett. I wouldn't have died. I'd have fucking had a great fucking time. I would go. And by the way, she wasn't with Leanne Rimes, was she? Whoops! Whoops! Hope I didn't say that. Whoops!
Hey Jay, I got a real quick question about Mardi Gras. If you can answer it for me.
Sure.
Last month, you guys down there had 20 murders in 23 days.
Yeah.
Now that Mardi Gras is over, what is your murder rate at now?
Well, it's huge because during Mardi Gras you can't move the bodies. They'll sometimes put them in a bag because there's so many people on Mardi Gras Day. I've actually seen dead bodies in the street with those police barricades around them. I mean, that happened when I was a kid. They couldn't get them out, right? And you got 1 million people in the streets. So also, I used to walk down Bourbon Street, and the street was so covered with beer cans that it was like walking on rocks. You would walk on the beer cans. They kind of don't do that anymore. We do have a lot of killings, and so what they did is after 9 o'clock at night in the French Quarter, they made a law that if you're under 18 or 17, it's a curfew. You can't be in French Quarter.
That's racism, Jay.
That's exactly right.
You racist.
That's exactly.
Dog said it.
No, but it's true. That's exactly correct. And what's weird is if I lived in New Orleans with my kids, and I would say, "Hey, man, you're under 16. Don't fucking go down on the quarter. You're going to get arrested." They went nuts. And unfortunately, after about 1 o'clock in the morning, these kids are not buying anything. They've all got cell phones going, and it gets scary as shit. And people are just, get shot. So a large group of it is among one group of people. And so I don't know how they're going to stop it. I don't know what they're going to do. But we have over 100 movies being done in Louisiana, and tourism is huge. So I don't know. How about hand out a bulletproof vest as you drive into the city? That's a good one. By the way, you get a hurricane and a bulletproof vest as you drive into the city, and a pack of condoms, And they hand you a little coupon that says, "Welcome to New Orleans." When you leave, take one of these stupid motherfuckers with you, All right. Thank you very much. Wait a minute now. Soul Cat is calling from Mississippi. Now we had Soul Dog from... All right, wait a minute. Soul, are you there, Soul Cat?
Yo, man, Jay, look here now. I got to tell you something about, well, old English give me the fucking wrong. You understand what I'm saying? The government makes the black people drink English. They just throw it out of the way.
All right, get rid of him, Soul Cat. Shut up, get rid of him, Soul Cat. What stupidity. Every call is from the South, every one of them. Let's go to New Jersey, where the big fat governor just vetoed gay marriage because the representatives of the people voted for it, Garrett.
Oh.
Apparently they don't represent the people, Jay.
They don't. They represent all the Congress of New Jersey who represent the people. That's what you voted on to do. They voted for gay marriage. He said, no, it's not the people. All right, there you go.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't vote for him. Wasn't me.
Well, you know what? I think he's probably a good governor, but he's only doing that, you know, for
Jay,
the party.
he's not. I have a mother who's a teacher in the public schools, and I just did a job for a firefighter, and he's a horrible governor according to every public employee I've ever met.
The union people don't like the Republicans. That's true. And you know what's crazy? All of us know more union people than we know Wall Street people. I don't know sometimes what a middle-class Republican is trying to protect. I don't quite get it. I don't understand.
Jag.
It really is.
My dad's one of them, and I have no idea.
You could call it racism because they would go, well, they're going to give everything to, poor black people or whatever, and they're kind of stuck on that a little bit. It is odd to me because the no contraception thing, I hope that gets passed. I can't wait till every one of Rick Santorum's daughters is knocked up, by some guy, and there's no abortion and no birth control. Let him fucking foot the bill for him. Let him do it.
Yeah, it's a scary thought, Jay.
All those Santorums running around,
That's the last thing we need.
What are you doing? What are you doing while we're talking? What are you doing?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
You've
redoing
stopped
a bathroom
working
while we're talking.
Yeah, okay, we'll stop. What did you call about?
No, that story you were talking about before, about the terrorist. I think it's the same one, but so they set up this guy and they asked him if he could get them a missile, and so he couldn't get them a missile, so the FBI basically gave him a fake missile to sell to the FBI, and then he got in trouble, and now he's in jail.
Right.
So it's scary what the government is capable of.
It is. The funniest one is the underwear bomber, and they just sentenced him the other day, and one of the flight attendants is having post-traumatic stress disorder because she was the one that had to put out his underwear.
So who's she suing? The underwear bomber?
She's probably going to sue the airline, whatever, but I'm thinking it didn't sound like it was because he was a bomber. It sounded like because she had to pour water on his burning crotch, She's horrified by the smell of, I think the guy's Puerto Rican also.
Of burning flesh and pubes?
Yeah, and maybe he was uncircumcised, and so the head of his penis was more like a wick, So it was like a candle wick burning. He was screaming, and I'm sure he had, shit his pants and everything else. She had to pat him out and pour water on it, and then they tied him down. Yeah. So.
It's crazy world, Jay.
Yes, it is. Thank you, Jason of New Jersey.
I love you, Jay. Take it easy, buddy.
Thank you so much. He took time out of his tiling. Christina, did you hear that?
Well, he was still tiling.
Well, I wanted him to stop. I'll tell you why. He's a nice person for doing it while he's tiling. I really don't want the tile being put in by a guy who's also on the phone at the same time. You got that string, you have the grout. There's an achievement there. That's all. Have you ever grouted anything, Christina?
No, I've never have. Is that the little tubey thing that you squeeze?
That's caulk.
Oh.
That's caulk. Grouting is when you put
fun.
You put the tile up. It is, because it's like squeezing a big mechanical penis.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, right. Is that the first thought in your mind?
No, not at all.
It never
I
is.
was going on like rocket ship, maybe.
Every guy. Yeah, that must be like, what are you, rocket ship? That's like I always wondered what my kids were thinking. You drive them, they're little, looking out the window, and they're staring. They're intently staring. And you go, God, what are they thinking? So one day, my middle son must have been about 5, and he's just staring out of the window, eyes unblinking, and I said, hey, man, what are you thinking about? He goes, a bear. I'm thinking, one bear? What was the bear doing? He goes, a bear. So for like 10 minutes, I guess the bear was just stationary outside of the window. That was it. The other one, when he was staring, what are you thinking? He goes, none of your business. That was the other one. So those were the two answers. You don't need to know what I'm thinking. And it caused a big bunch of shit in the car because he wasn't staring. He was sleepy. Okay? So then my wife says to me, why do you pick on him? I'm not picking on him. I asked him what the fuck he was thinking. He's not thinking anything. He's 4. He's sleepy. That's how that conversation ended. No, sorry about that.
Wow.
Something came out. Something came out I didn't. Let's go to Chuck of Georgia. Yes, Chuck. How are you?
Anything.
All right, guy, turn it down. I don't want to hear myself again. Yes, Chuck. Go ahead. Chuck? We got to wait till Chuck hears out of the fucking radio before he looks up. Chuck, Georgia.
Chuck of Georgia. Yes, Chuck, for you. All right, guy, turn it down. I don't want to hear myself.
Jesus Christ.
He's not even hearing this part.
What? You know what? It's like he
Let's go for a third loop.
He's like he left his phone in the car, and he's taking a leak or something.
Chuck of Georgia. Yes, Chuck, for you.
Yes, third time. Hey, Garrett.
All right, down. I don't want to hear myself. Jesus Christ.
He's not even hearing this part.
What? You know what? It's like you let's go for a third loop.
All right. It's horrible to hear a lack of material 2 and 3 times.
I want to hear me say hi to myself.
Hey, Garrett.
Yeah,
all right. That's it. Get rid of it. Let's go to Eric of Alabama. Yes, Eric.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
We were talking about pouring crazy shit in beer, and I moved down to 2 blocks. They got a drink where they pour like lemonade and beer about half and half. You ever hear of that?
I have.
Or they said they call it a shanty or something.
I've heard of it. I've never had it, but there are people that will put a squeeze of lime or a squeeze of whatever. But yeah, there is a thing where they need sweetness and they want to get drunk, so they mix it with lemonade. It may be more of it's not a New Orleans thing, a Louisiana thing that I know of, but I have seen it in Mississippi. But to me, it just seems like a stomach ache. That's all. You're not supposed to do those two things. That's all.
I had one. It wasn't so bad, but.
Oh, you liked it?
I wouldn't, push you out of the way for the last one, but it was all right.
All right. Well, thanks for checking in. Thank you. Thank you. We have Soul Daddy. We've had Soul Dog, Soul Cat, and now Soul Daddy. Yes, Soul Daddy. Go ahead.
Hello, Jay. How are you?
I'm good.
I love the show. I just want to call and defend my nephew, Soul Dog. He gets a little excited. He's never been on the radio before, and
does his red thing come out when he gets excited? Soul Dog's glands, penis come out of there. Yes. All right. All right, I think this is as good a time as any to to get out of here. All right. Let me check the cough button, Garrett. Hold on a minute. Hold on one second. Did you hear that?
No.
Okay, great. Stay where you are. It started as a dream. That's it. And now he makes $1 million a year. A real dream. Stay where you are.
You led me around like a seeing-eye dog down the
pathway to heartbreak and shame. Thought we were headed to the highway of love, but I'm out on the back streets of pain. I'm looking at the world through a new pair of glasses. How could I be
certainly with my my recent endeavors in acting and the independent movies, being beaten up on a cold case, acting in this children's show, Shake It Up and all that. Certainly, I can't really speak of the biggest people in the industry. But I will tell you that when you're watching a movie, maybe more than a TV show, or maybe an HBO film or Showtime film or whatever, when you're watching a movie, so many things are done for authenticity that you wouldn't have noticed it probably if they weren't as authentic. Case in point is James Cameron made the Titanic when the camera came inside the Titanic, and of course people were bitching about this and said horrible stuff. He wanted the light fixtures to be the same exact type as they were back in, when did the Titanic go down? In the 20s? Down in the 20s?
Sounds right.
Something like
Gary
that. Gary
knows. 1914. 19,
Thank you.
1912,
1912, a few years before the...
favorite movie?
Before, actually, 100 years ago. That's why this year. And you like that movie? So anyway, he made the light fixtures. He had the railings, everything, whatever the design was on the real Titanic, even though we wouldn't have known it. Interior-wise, that's what he had, okay?
Yeah, I was watching with my girlfriend Downton Abbey.
Yeah.
And it just ended or something. They did a little behind-the-scenes thing, and they went to the kitchen, and on the wall that no one ever sees is like this 1920s grocery list item where everything was listed, and you flick a switch over like when you run out, and it was just... no one ever is going to notice that.
That's
or
right.
anything, but it's authentic.
Even in TV shows, when they make your apartment or they make a, whatever, it's totally authentic, right? Well, go to oldfocals with an F.com. Russ Campbell, welcome to the show. Are you interviewed a lot by people in the industry?
No, hardly, next to never.
Right. Well, I'll tell you, I bow down to you because what Russ does is he provides the glasses, the bifocals, the frames and everything, because you have this amazing collection. And it started with a dream. I need you to say that to us.
Oh, sure. Yeah, essentially what I did is I was looking for work, and I just moved out to California, and I also needed a new pair of sunglasses, and I had a habit of writing down my dreams at like 2 o'clock in the morning, just having a pen and paper there, and then had this dream where this old man gave me a pair of his sunglasses, and they were really
No, wait,
cool.
You would write all of your dreams down?
No, just, something you did while you should be sleeping and studying for school, but you're not.
So you started writing your dreams down?
Yes.
Which most people forget within minutes after waking up, right?
Exactly.
And you would do it. And so out of all of them, a man telling you to buy old glasses?
No, it was, I was like on top of it, looking upon this old man who was bouncing a baby on his knee. And I noticed he had really cool sunglasses. And then I just said, hey, those are really nice sunglasses. And he goes, here, you can have these old focals. And then I woke up the next morning, and I told my mom and my family that was around, like, hey, I had this weird dream last night about starting an eyeglass company called Old Focals, and just doing this, one of those, hey, wouldn't it be great if you did this, and if you went and collected old vintage eyewear and made them into sunglasses and then put them, for sale in stores. And my mom, who had to hear lots of my, stupid, crazy ideas, goes, that's a good one. And then she had me go out and find old vintage frames, and she went out and appropriated some vintage frames, and it just became, second nature. You walk into a retail place.
I'm going to ask the question everybody is thinking. How good was the hash you were smoking the night before?
I know.
Huh?
I gave that up years before.
Really? So you didn't have a half a bottle of wine or vodka or something the night before this?
I can't confirm or deny that.
Yeah. But you know what? and I'll talk about your company, which is great. The other night, and I'm sorry I didn't do it, I literally had an entire story given to me in a dream, like kind of a mystery story. And when I woke up, I'm trying to remember it, and I didn't write it down, and now it's almost completely gone. But you are correct. Writing your dreams down, there's also a therapy to that, they say.
Sure.
But now let's go back. Did anybody during the day say something about glasses to you, or did you look at a woman who had sunglasses, or see a guy in a magazine, or anything that sparked?
No, I just came out to California from being in Detroit, and you notice, well, everybody's got really cool sunglasses, and it's like, I want a pair of sunglasses, but I just don't want any particular pair. And then, then the dream came along. That's what I want. I want vintage sunglasses.
Now, this may be a lie, but it says here when we looked your information up that you would set your alarm clock for 2 a.m. in the morning to write your dreams down.
Yes, that's what I would do. That's what I was doing.
And are you dyslexic?
Yeah, but, that's open for interpretation, too. I went to college before I went to kindergarten.
Well, is either dyslexic or you're stupid.
I'm both, probably.
Both dyslexic and stupid? Yeah, I worry about that. Yeah.
No, the dyslexia was, I before I went to school, I was writing my name in cursive and backwards. I had reading, difficulties up until like the 4th or 5th grade, and then it all started, to kick in. And then one thing about dyslexic people, they overcome and they do it really well.
Now, you start Old Focals and go to oldfocals.com. You're selling stuff. Did you go to the fairs and stuff? And did you go are you in California? Where are you?
Yes, I am now. Yes.
Did you live near Pasadena and go to the Rose Bowl and sell your glasses? Is that what you did?
Yes, I live in Pasadena, and no, I never really did that. There's a lot of other people. I'll go there and buy glasses from them. I was going around the nation, and I'd drop in and go to a Salvation Army. Do you have any old eyeglasses? I'll take them all.
There was no online. You started this before online was happening.
Oh yeah, way before.
So what's the first big movie or TV show? Because you are who everybody goes to. I bet you in movies and TV shows, I've worn glasses that were gotten from your company. Were you around when Mr. Holland's Opus was being done?
Yes.
Because Richard, they had a big thing about his, the glasses. We aged for 30 years. Do you remember if you gave glasses to that? That was Hollywood Pictures or Disney. Do you remember that movie?
Yeah, I do remember the movie, and I do remember his glasses. I can't confirm or deny that one either, because there's so many times where I work on a project and I work with my friends who are, the prop masters, and you supply to them, and sometimes I don't even know what the production is.
Right.
I would have to look up on the IMDb and find out who the prop master is, and then go from there.
Well, this year you had J. Edgar, Tinker Tailor, Soldier Spy, The Rum Diary, Cowboys and Aliens, A Single Man, Catch Me If You Can, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, and you do Mad Men also.
Yes, and I got the longest credit in Hollywood in regards to the ending credit title. It says, "Eyewear provided by Russ Campbell and Old Focals in Pasadena, California."
So they put that on every show.
Yeah.
Now, if I go on your website, can I buy a pair of glasses that Leonardo DiCaprio wore? Do you get them back?
Yes, I do. The majority of the glasses that I provide, they are all rented by the studio, and sometimes they have to, if it's a serious hero, like there's been times where Spielberg would, he'll request the glasses for himself and end up on his office wall.
Now,
but for the most part, they will.
Could you sell me something that Angelina Jolie wore, some of her glasses?
Or perhaps maybe she tried on or considered.
Oh, Garrett, just try it on is all we need, by the way. Christina, whose male glasses?
She just stepped out.
Because imagine that they looked through them while they were doing a performance. How about the HBO movie John Adams, right?
Yes.
Do you have what's the oldest pair you have in your collection?
Well, in my collection, we have things that date back, to the 18th century. But for the most part, it's the 19th century, and that's we kind of were able to do that and with skill.
Who figured out to make a magnified glass and you could look through it? Who did that?
Well, that is open for opinion. Now, I don't want to start any problems, but some people think that the Italians invented it, in regards to holding up a quartz, and that could go back to, the 11th century, or, it depends on what book you're reading and what country it was published. And then they can say the Chinese did it, or it could go back to, in my mind, it could be, if there was some glass from a fire and they held it up and it had refractive properties to it, and someone was able to hold it up to their eye and go, hey, I can see clearer through this.
Right. What about, did Benjamin Franklin invent the bifocal?
That's open for discussion, too.
Wow.
He did popularize it. He put, one in for distance and one in for reading.
Right. Garrett, any more questions for Russ Campbell, oldfocals.com? He provides almost all the glasses that you see in television and movies and everything. Garrett, anything?
Well, I think he's going to have a big increase just because all the girls now, the big thing is to wear these thick rim glasses. It's like the hipster look, and everyone wears them. So I would assume in movies, more girls are going to be wearing, designer glasses and stuff like that.
Oh, sure. Can you imagine all across the world, in China and Korea and Japan, the craze has gone so much, and it actually never falls out of style somewhere in the world. But as of late, kids are walking around without even lenses in the glasses. They
My son does. My son has glasses like that. Now, you've been doing this 25 years.
Yes.
What size inventory do you have?
Well, see, in the film industry, you always have to have, you can't just have one. You have to have a couple or plenty. So and you can't have one of everything, but you could try. And so can you imagine that I have, a couple 100,000 in like one location, and we have different facilities that hold our eyeglasses. And
a couple 100,000 frames, or do they have the glass in them, or how does it?
No, they're frames only. And then what we'll do, and that's all stuff that has never been used. That's new old stock, from the 50s, the 40s, and the 60s. And then we also have a plethora of glasses that have been used, and that we refurbish them and then provide them for a character.
Do the movie stars ever come to where you are, or do you have to go to where they are?
Not that often, but there's some really good actors and who could anchor. Like some actors will come to me and they'll anchor themselves with glasses, and I think this is what's going to do it. And then they go see the director and they go, no glasses. But
now, who have you had in front of you that you thought, I can't believe this famous person's trying on these glasses?
Dude, you're not going to believe. Gary Oldman is the man. He knew exactly what he wanted when he walked into the store, and it took about 20 frames or so, nailed it, and then we told him he was inquisitive like you are. Does anybody know about you? And then the next thing you know, that cat is going all around the world wearing an Old Focals T-shirt, being pictured everywhere. He goes on interviews, and even like the director's bureau, he was introducing Tinker Tailor, and he gets up and speaks after the movie, and he goes, "It all starts off with the glasses by Russ Campbell and Old Focals."
I love it. Now Gary Oldman is the English actor.
Yeah.
Did he play Lee Harvey Oswald, Garrett? We were talking about the assassination. I think he might have played Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah, I don't have him.
I think now Gary Oldman sounds great, but I mean, has Brad Pitt or Angelina Jolie?
I've done glasses for Brad Pitt for 20 years. I've done for George Clooney. Brad.
And they come into the store and they sit in the chair. No,
they do not. Cannot. No. here's what my day consists of. I find out what I have to do, for a particular character or something, and then I make a decision like who's got the best craft services, and I'll go to that studio around lunchtime. I go to them.
Christina, did you hear that? He picks the best lunch place.
Yep, I don't blame him.
Now, Christina, whose glasses? We were saying that if, let's say, a woman wore these glasses, like let's say I knew Michelle Williams wore these, it would be like kind of their glasses are I would say intimate, right? What male glasses would you like to have on a person that he's already put glasses on and gotten them back? Who would you like it to be? No movie star? Nobody?
Well, I mean, you did just say Brad Pitt. That might be nice.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, did all his
the wire rim glasses, and it had touched his skin, and it would be on your head now. Huh?
Yeah, that sounds really sexy.
Russ, they don't get it. Russ Campbell.
I do. I'm with you, Jay.
I'm a huge fan. Oldfocals.com. I'm keeping this. You'll be hearing from me. I can't wait to come see the warehouse. Thank you so much, Russ.
Right on, man. You're welcome.
Right. Thank you, pal. See you later. It started with a dream.
Call now because no one else is. Presented in no definition on Wasteland 104. This is the Jay Thomas Show with your host, Jay Thomas. Featuring, as always, the usual cast of characters including Rodney Lee Conover, Kevin Meaney, Shuli, Garrett, Christina, and Ira the Weatherman. This is the Jay Thomas Show.
It was hard for me to hear. Who made that?
That was from David. I won't say his last name.
It was a little distorted, wasn't it?
Well, it was, kind of futuristic.
Way to go, David.
No, but I mean it. Don't do the way to go, David. Where are we now? The afternoon show in
it's just
Poughkeepsie.
inspiring.
We're in Poughkeepsie. Hey, way to go, David.
It's inspiring words.
It was not recorded.
He sent in another one, too, if you want.
Well, we'll have to listen to that one before I let anything that unprofessional go in the air. Okay? He's no Jeff Furlot, I can tell you. I'll tell you that right now. Ed, do we say your name Whelan or Weiland? How do you say your name?
Weiland.
Hey, Ed, how are you? It's Jay Thomas here.
Hi, Jay. Thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure.
Doing good.
And we've got Garrett Andrich is there and Christina Palumbo. Go to hoopsanalyst.com. So you are a FedEx guy. How long have you been delivering for FedEx?
11 years, 5 in the Chicago area and the last 6 here in Bend.
You're in Bend, Oregon? That's a great place, isn't it? It's like a retirement
place, yeah.
Cool place like that. And so there you are delivering. And were you a basketball player?
Well, not a good one. I never played organized. I love to play, but I wasn't. My gene pool did not permit me to, play at too high a level.
Did you ever learn how to dribble between your legs?
I did not. No. I mean,
you liked it.
Hand.
Well, now wait a minute.
As good as I got.
But what about in all these movies? The rain's falling and the guy's still shooting buckets, on the garage, the old rim on the garage. That you would have gotten good. You would have.
I think I probably could have gotten good, but I was probably busy looking at numbers. I don't know.
You were always into the stats, always.
Yes.
Now, and here you are working for FedEx. Why didn't you become a statistician before we talk about what you've done? And you've done a great job statistically.
Honestly, I really don't know. I've never, I always kind of liked the work, the grunt work. I've always been okay with that. And, I just drifted to FedEx somehow at that point,
I met a kid the other day who was getting his master's in statistics. I just read a thing about Target. They know everything about everybody statistically to where they can mail you stuff when they know you're pregnant, even though you've never even, mentioned it to anybody at the store. It's a big thing. And Moneyball, you're kind of a Moneyball guy for basketball. You started looking at college players that were going to get into the NBA draft. Yeah. And when did you spot Jeremy Lin, the big star of the Knicks?
Well, it was right, before the 2010 draft in usually around January of the year. I just start looking for college prospects, guys who might be good prospects. And Lynn was one of them, and he just his statistics put him kind of off the charts in two categories I look at. One is the 2-point percentage, field goal percentage, and the other is rebounds, steals, and blocks per 40 minutes, and he was way outside the norm in both categories.
Rebound, steals off of blocks for 40 minutes. Well, Ed, I hate to bring up some bad news, but I think what you do is great, and you've done it for other players, and you just do it there in your home. Our friend Garrett Andritz here, he thinks that's all luck, that you accidentally, picked the guy.
I fumbled into it.
He's going to admit it to watch.
That's possible.
See?
No, it is not. It isn't possible. You know what? Preparation, okay, and timing equal luck.
Like the GM of the two teams he was on before aren't more into stats than Ed? They have all those stats too, and they cut the guy.
Yeah.
Yet why couldn't people see it? Was he not playing up to it was a coaching? What do you think the reason was? You had picked him. Now when you saw him get drafted and he didn't do well, did you still think he was a viable choice?
Well, I would hope I was hoping at the very least he'd get a shot. I thought Golden State would be a good place for him. I thought he'd make it, behind Ellis and Curry. I thought he'd do well, but I never thought he'd do anything like this.
So it must drive you crazy. You're sitting in your home, and give us another player that came, obviously the top few picks, but the NBA's like the NFL. There are a lot of guys that weren't superstars in college, and they make it through the ranks. To prove it, you're not just lucky in this woman. Give Garrett somebody else that you saw early on, and of course you have the stats.
Well, I did like DeAndre Jordan, but he didn't come out of nowhere. He was fairly highly touted. He came out as a freshman. He was drafted in the second round, and now he's doing very well with the Clippers. I had him, I believe, in the top 5 or 6 in that draft.
Now, what about the other 5 people? Did they do well too, or
that I had?
Yeah.
I want to say that was 2009 draft, and that would have been I don't have it in front of me, but I also like Blake Griffin, but everyone did.
Yeah. All right.
I like DeJuan Blair quite a bit in that draft, and he's outplayed his draft position. Ty Lawson was another one I liked.
Are you listening, Garrett? Are you listening?
Outplayed.
Yeah. I don't have a guy on who's lucky. I have a guy on that's sitting in his living room after a hard day at FedEx. How come the NBA, are they going to hire you now that you're getting all this notoriety?
Oh, I don't think so.
Really? Yeah.
No one's been beating a path to my door, put it that way.
This interview is just about to send you through the roof as an unknown statistical draft pick.
Have you coined a name for your, sabermetrics?
It is sabermetrics. I didn't coin that. I think that was Bill James's word. I could be wrong there, but it's the same type of thing,
well, You should do Weiland metrics or something.
Weiland metrics, I like that, yes. Maybe I'll trademark that.
So no one, I read about you in a couple of magazines and saw some stuff on TV, hoopsanalyst.com. Do you do anything beside pick players? Do you pick games during the season?
No, you mean pick against the spread? No, I don't do that.
Huh.
If time allows, I might, do a playoff preview or a season preview, or just a general article on the NBA. But as far as picking games, no.
And are you single?
I'm recently separated.
Yeah, well, the wife got sick of all this, right?
She got sick of me hovering over spreadsheets.
That's exactly right. You know what?
No,
you are made to be a statistician for a sports team. Their marriages are always crumbling. Every movie you see, the marriage is crumbling. Absolutely. Yeah. I know nothing about statistics. My marriage is strong as rock solid.
Right. You don't have to make a choice between her and the spreadsheet.
You don't.
Like I did.
That's exactly right, and I know the choice you made. Ed Whelan, hoopsanalyst.com. Can anybody just go to it and see your research and email you and talk about it for NBA basketball, right?
I put the link on our website.
Great. Let's go to Matt of Chicago. Yes, Matt, what is your question for Ed, who picked a lot of people, but he saw this guy, Jeremy Lin, very early. Go ahead, Matt. Is he there? Matt there?
Yeah. Ed, you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
Ed is getting money for the spreadsheets. Separated.
You know what? Your phone screwed up. You know what irritated me about Jeremy Lin? Have you noticed, Ed, he's now a big religious guy, and he believes in this Joel Osteen out of Texas. Have you read about? He's now starting to promote the religion thing.
Yeah, I try not to think about that one way or the other. Okay. I'm personally I am an atheist too, so I.
Yeah. Hey man, emotional high five, Ed. Yeah, baby.
But if this helps him, good for him.
Okay.
And it's not something it's not something I look at as part of the stats, put it that way.
So you've never seen anything in your stats in the NBA that would lead you to believe in a supreme being?
Not really, no.
No guidance, no. You don't think that God may have taken Tim Tebow and Jeremy Lin and put them in a position to in an exalted position in His glory?
Sent them down here too.
Yeah, because even Tebow's not supposed to be where he is, right? Even if it only lasts a couple of years, he's made a huge, ecumenical impact. Yes, he has.
Although he did that at Florida too, and I just don't sense that there's a lot of confidence in him among football stat heads, and I could be wrong about that because I only watch football as a fan.
No, I'm talking about the supreme being thing, that they take him, they take Jeremy Lin, and they're chosen by this, and Jeremy Lin is Asian American. Yeah. It looks, it could be a supreme being going, hey, and using you as an instrument.
I'm a White Sox fan, and I'll say if they win it all this year, that might convert me.
Well, buddy, I'm going to give you a name right now, and I not only want you to think about this guy, but I want you to pray for him, and it has to do with the White Sox. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Dylan Axelrod.
Dylan
Axelrod. This guy is from UC Davis. He pitched when they had kind of they got up there in the Division I championships a few years back, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. No one wanted him. He went through everything, and now he made the 40-man roster to pitch for the White Sox. And
really? Okay,
been watching this guy in Santa Barbara. He played in every independent league. He did everything he could do. I mean, this guy is a real. Not that there aren't other guys, but it's a real story of a guy that just worked his ass off and made himself into a professional pitcher. So follow him.
Watch for him.
Yeah.
Derek Jeter too. It's a up and comer.
Another name to watch.
Excuse me, Ed, for a moment. You know what, Jets fan? Okay, you've been lied to by a foot smeller. Okay, you didn't know anything about the arguments in the locker room and all. So if I were you, I'd be very quiet.
Oh yeah, pill popper lover.
Who's that pill popper lover?
The Saints.
Oh, that's enhancements to make our team better. Those are vitamins. Those are known as vitamins. Oh. Ed, it's going to get ugly here. This isn't a sports show, Ed, but hoopsanalyst.com, FedEx delivery man by day, and then picks, draft picks by night.
Who's going to win tonight, Knicks or Heat in Miami?
I'll stay on the Lin bandwagon and say against my better judgment that the Knicks are going to surprise them.
Wow! And do you think Heat? You think the Heat will ever get these guys playing as a team enough to win it all?
Actually, I think they're playing that way now. So
LeBron James is apparently
the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, so here it comes.
LeBron James is having the best statistical season ever, according to some rankings.
He is, and I don't think they can deny him the MVP this year if he keeps going like this.
Yeah. Well, Ed, anytime we may call on you to talk basketball. Ed Whelan, hoopsanalyst.com. Thanks a lot, man. And did you work today? Did you deliver stuff today?
I have been delivering, and I still got some to go, but it's a little on the light side today. So this.
Do you wear a back brace? Do you wear that thing that protects your back?
I do not. They say I should. I do a lot of. I do some yoga and stretching, and that seems to keep me pretty limber. But I probably should invest in one of those things.
You're going to meet a new gal at the yoga studio.
That's good with me.
Yeah, and her dad will have been a high school basketball coach, and she'll understand you. I just felt that. I don't know where that came from, but that's what I just felt.
It's hard to meet people at yoga, though.
No, it isn't. Not when they're bending over.
Things get released.
Well, that's true. That's true. But you meet them after it when you're having a green tea. So. All right, Ed. Thank you, man. Ed Whelan, Hoops Analyst.
Thanks, Jay.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. I've actually had two people on today that I you know me well enough to know I really was excited by having these two guys on. The Focals guy. What's amazing is people imagine. Yes, I'd be friends with those guys. I love people that do these things. I'm not nuts about basketball, but he probably has enough crazy ideas about other things that it would be fun to talk to him. The bifocal guy, I could be in that warehouse day and night.
But you really don't think that this guy just got struck by lightning and got lucky once?
No, I think he was very humble about it. I think he's a guy that, and I see them at baseball games too. How about these kooks at baseball games that are keeping all the box scores, and go to every game and stuff? He does all of the stats for Division I and II basketball, and then picks guys in the draft, and for his own good.
Yeah, but I could do that too without any stats. And then if one guy makes it, then I'm the genius.
You wouldn't have seen you wouldn't have seen Jeremy Lin. He was way under the radar at Harvard. You'd have never seen him.
Division I.
You wouldn't have looked at him. This guy, you wouldn't have looked at Harvard.
Well, I remember watching Dwayne Wade play in college, and I was like, this guy's going to be a superstar. I don't get
Why do you have to try and say you're as good as a guy with statistics? Do you do it just to fucking aggravate me? Because, no, you can't do what Ed does. The answer is no.
What, take a stab in the dark?
No, he didn't take a stab. God, you're fucking frustrating. He works his ass off, lifting the boxes and all that. Then at night with the stats, his wife left him, for Christ's sakes. He's giving his life over to it. These guys are like monks. The guy with 200,000 glass frames in a giant warehouse, he's a fucking monk. Are you kidding?
I guess it was all worth it so he could say, I told you so.
Well, at least the eyeglass guy makes $1 million. Poor other bastard. He's like, well, wife left me. The pictures of his apartment are sad. They are. The single, 50-year-old guy has never got the real snazzy apartment. No. Unless he's that guy that, I am the most dangerous man in the world, whatever that asshole's name is. You imagine.
The Dos Equis guy?
The Dos Equis guy. After he does the commercial, he goes home to this really kind of shitty apartment, in like Caracas, Venezuela, on the email department, this comes from TR. The butt drag in wrestling is also called checking the oil. Jay, you are correct. It is an illegal move, but it is still taught and used. Ooh, well, there you go, right there. All right, boys. Close that door. God damn, come on, everybody, get out. All right, man, here we go. I'm going to teach you an illegal move.
Joe, pull your pants down.
Joe, get over here, Joe. This comes from Lack Jail, the guy that didn't know who Kelly Ripa was. Thanks for clearing up the Kelly Ripa question. Now I know who she is. I feel even better for not knowing. I don't watch much TV, especially the shit that comprises early morning television in America. I get my entertainment fix by listening to Sirius Radio instead. My God.
Wow.
I'm like a mental patient who can't get enough Prozac. Without it, I might actually go sane. Oh, man. Well, and don't listen to those assholes who criticize Ira. Anyway, he goes on to say how great everybody is and the whole thing. Didn't know who Kelly Ripa was. Found that hard to believe. Christopher. I told you my story of almost naming our son Christopher, right, Garrett?
I don't know.
Yeah, my wife was like 8.5 months pregnant. We're going into to see a ballet in L.A. or something. I mean, it's just huge. And we got the books with the names and the whole deal. And so we get out of the car, and she goes, well, I think Christopher. I go, Christopher, are you fucking nuts? Are you crazy? And I said, first of all, we don't have a family member named Christopher. Name him for you don't have to do that. That's some kind of... So we fight all the way in to the fucking ballet. I mean, you don't ever want to see each other again. And she's got the big stomach, right? She might have even started crying, you know. I don't care what his fucking name is. It's not going to be fucking Christopher. Like that. We get into the ballet. We sit down. And the lights go down. And the guy goes, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please enjoy Giselle Dance by the Los Angeles, blah, 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 blah. Tonight, our lead performer will not be, Emile Renault. Instead, his replacement, Christopher Johansson. The lights go down, and about a 6'5" gay guy comes leaping onto the fucking stage, right? And the fucking orchestra starts. I turn to my wife and I go, there's your Christopher. Never heard that name mentioned again.
Yeah, I was supposed to be Peter, but then my brother told my mom that that's what people called penises. So then I was
You had it
scared.
right the first time.
Well, no wonder your parents broke up, because that's... Okay, baby, get out and suck my Peter. What? There's someone under the... No, my... What? Oh, never mind. Your father had someone named Peter in the bed with us the first night. Christopher. Jay, there's no need to spread your slanderous anti-human rights, anti-gun propaganda. The United States Constitution guarantees us the right to carry guns, whether it be in church, the grocery store, or a local sporting event. This is from my story of the legal gun in the church in Florida. I'll get the exact story because they're people's names. The guy wants to buy the gun. They get in a closet. They take out the clip. One bullet's left. The idiot pulls the trigger. It goes through the wall, kills the pastor's daughter, who is also his fiancée. Hand to God, that's a true story. Pull it up. You'll find out. It's in Florida here. Nobody should give up the right to self-defense just because they enter a house of God. I don't want you shooting at some terrorist while I'm kneeling down on the other side of the terrorist. You're not a crack shot. Who are you, Anthony Oakley? You're nobody. You're Christopher the fucking asshole with a gun that could kill me legally, you fucking jerk off. You want me with a fucking gun and I start firing away and you and your scumbag family are wounded or maimed? My luck that I'll be hit in the spine and just be crippled. You and your fellow Democrats won't be happy until every gun is melted down and the proceeds given to crack whores so they can abort unborn children without any financial repercussions for their poor decisions. Americans shouldn't have to stand for their rights being berated by left-wing fart sniffers like you.
Oh.
You son of a bitch! Love the show. Best regards, Christopher. All right. I usually recycle. This is for you, Christopher. You fucking disgusting.
Are you wiping your ass with those pieces of paper?
You can have whatever fucking gun you want. Don't be shooting the thing around my ass and my family. Christina, would you like to go in a restaurant one night, a guy starts some shit and 4 people open fire? Do you not think there won't be a crossfire?
No,
right?
there will, yeah.
There we go. I mean, you don't know how to handle a gun. You're not a cop. You're not taking practice. Even if you are, you know what? Shooting at rabbits, Christopher, they don't shoot back. Rabbit killer. Let's go to Owen of Texas. Right in the middle of my reading of all these incredible things. Yes, Owen, go ahead.
Jay, thank you so much. By the way, I got a headshot. It's fucking incredible. I love it so much. Thank you.
Now, you know what? My headshots include a recognizable star of the past. Did I?
Well, let me tell you, I got it.
Did I send you one that has a recognizable star of the past in it?
It's a 30-year younger Jay Thomas opening the door in the bar of Cheers. That's what I got.
There you go. I always place a star of the past, or a sign of something. And you know what? That's really the way you want to imagine that I look. Because if you see me now, the old bent, broken, kind of limping, it would bring a tear to your eye. All right? Hold on a minute, please. Hold on. That shit that Demi Moore was sniffing. Yeah. I have my bottle of Pro Gold G5 conditioning treatment, a lubricant, a preservant. Okay, go ahead, Owen.
Well, I called up to really just rip on Garrett, his voice, but then I started to think, I'm so glad you picked up. I just want to compliment your show.
Wow, there you go. Garrett, a guy that was after you, it's almost like the Lone Ranger story. I didn't know it was him, As soon as he saw the Lone Ranger, he stopped whatever he was doing, right?
Thanks, citizen.
I love this show is incredible, and I'm like everyone else, I pretty much listen to Howard.
Hold on a minute, Owen. Hold on. It's going to get better. Listen to this. Did you see that movie Blue Velvet? Oh, yeah. Oh, mommy. Oh, mommy.
I want to take back everything I just said. This show fucking sucks.
Mommy. Oh, mommy.
Smart.
Thank you, Owen. I got lightheaded. I swear I got to do it again. I got to move the mic. I got lightheaded again. All right. Jesus, I broke the microphone. Oop, there you go. 1, 2. William of Fresno, Nevada.
Hey.
Mommy.
Yeah, I got a quick story about my Uncle Terry. But first I want to give a shout out to Shy Girl.
Hold on a minute. William, this is the Jay Thomas Show. It's Sirius XM 104. Are you sure you dialed the right show?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, who'd you call? Who are you calling?
No, hey, I got a quick story about my uncle. So he makes me do weird things anytime he comes to visit.
Yeah.
And he offers up money, correct? So the last time he wanted my girlfriend to shoot a banana out of her butt and me catch it in my mouth. But the thing was, if I caught it in my mouth, that's $500. And if I didn't, it was only $100. But he would sit there and videotape it. Is that weird or what?
Send us the videotape and we'll decide at a later date. All right. Thank you, William. I would love it if somebody sent me a videotape of a banana coming out of an ass. Here we go. Dear Jay, I'm an electrical inspector for the Iowa Department of Public Safety, Division of State Fire Marshals. Thank the Lord for all those shut-in, no-job losers who are in the Tea Party who hate people in public service. Oh, my God. Next time a building falls on their heads or their house catches on fire and they hate the union, don't be calling me. All right. You know what? You realize that, don't you? That every time they talk against the unions and all that, of course, Garrett, you're a union guy. You told me that the last show we did.
Mm-hmm.
They're all, that's the firemen and that's the inspectors and all that stuff. They're all in the union. Yeah. That's who gets canned. The policemen, teachers, everybody. They're all in unions.
Well, the unions have also gone well beyond their means, too.
You think so?
Way.
Too far the other way.
They never accept a pay cut when it's will hurt the workers. They don't care.
Mm-hmm. All right. That's your opinion, I'm sure.
No.
Dear Jay, this comes from Douche.
Steve?
No, just Douche. I heard you talking about the Fantasies award show you'll be doing tonight. That's on Sirius 210 XM 87, starting at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. And that the guy asked you about compensation. Well, you were compensated by that day off. In fact, as a longtime listener of Sirius, not XM, but mostly Sirius, it seems like everybody gets paid in vacation.
Wait, why did I miss the memo?
Everybody gets paid in vacations. I've never heard so many reruns in my fucking life. It's worse than HBO and Showtime when a hit show takes 2 years off and then comes back in the spring of 2014. New version of the Tudors. How much will you actually make if you have a paid day off? That is your payment. Signed, Douche. In fact, next time you have a contract discussion, don't say I want another $50,000. Say I need however many days that I would get days off that would add up to $50,000. All right, Garrett, you be the head of everything, okay?
Yes.
Now, Mr. Head of Everything, I would like, not in cash, a $50,000 worth of vacations.
Wow.
If you'll look at my contract, that's 300 days I'll be off. And I'll give you the best 65 fucking days you've ever heard in your life.
Not
live on the air.
weekends.
Yeah. There you go. That's how I would do it. Let's go to Mickey of Detroit, one of the many nuts that checks in. Yes, Mickey, go ahead.
Hey, you're a fucking nut, too. It takes one to know one, man.
You know what? I'm not you are sitting in some hovel in Detroit. You're drunk,
Not
you're
in
drugged
a
out,
hovel.
you're getting SSI, you're getting disaffuckability, whatever
wait
it
a
is.
minute.
You're getting
Hold
special
on.
shut-in checks and everything else. You're a nut.
Fuck you. And so are you, and that's why you're making a living at what you do.
Baloney.
But I just wanted to tell you.
I'm pretending. When this phone call's over, you're still going to have to be Mickey.
No. My name really isn't Mickey.
Well, mine isn't Jay, so there you go. All right, Mickey,
No,
now we
it's
got that out of our system. Go ahead. Go ahead. What is it?
Well, you scooped all the networks yesterday.
What was that? What was that? How did I scoop that?
Man, on the wearing of battle stars and that
I did.
asshole. Yeah. On the national news, they showed a picture of that asshole who said he won the Medal of Honor.
You know what? You know something? I can't believe you said it, Mickey. I saw the guy's. His name is Martinez Alvarez.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
Xavier Alvarez. Yeah. I looked at his picture today in the paper, and I said, what an asshole-looking guy. And I go, but you know what? I'm not going to mention that because no one will have seen his picture. I take everything back. You are a fucking genius.
Well, thank you, sir.
You think just like me. And Garrett,
well, I laugh at that. I listen to your show because
ergo, I think like
funny.
a fucking pilled out drunken shut-in from Detroit.
I'm not a shut-in motherfucker.
Yes, you are.
Come on.
Did you go to work today? Did you? What did you do?
I've worked in the four corners of the country or lived in them, and
yeah, but
worked
not this
in
morning.
a lot of places in between.
Not
just
this morning.
like you, Jay.
No, not this morning.
But anyways, you cut me off. I was drinking Cadillac Zombies on Fat Tuesday. And
now, what is it? What is a Cadillac Zombie? What's the recipe for that?
Top shelf booze. Same as a Cadillac Margarita. You just use a top shelf booze.
How do you make a zombie? I don't know.
Well, All right. First, I'll have to put a bullet in the back of your head, and then I'll have to have Madame Mademoiselle reincarnate you. Come on. You're from New Orleans. You know how to make a zombie.
I don't.
There's three kinds of rum.
It's three kinds of rum?
Juice and grenadine, and so there you have it.
Wow.
They're not that far away from a hurricane except for the 151 on top.
Wow, and you drink that every day?
No, fuck no. Only on Fat Tuesday.
Only on Mardi Gras every year, that's how you drink?
Yeah, and I have to tell you...
so you've had nothing to drink today?
Oh, yes, I have, but I don't drink 2 days in a row.
I got you. Okay. All right.
You got to give yourself a break.
Right.
And the burger guy, you cut me off. I was going to tell him if he thought his burger was better than the fat burgers, he must have a tasty burger.
Okay.
So,
all right. All right. You know what, Mickey?
Guy.
Hey, Mickey.
No, wait. Hey,
Mickey.
Wait.
Hey, Mickey. We're not on the corner in front of a convenience store, okay? This is a radio show, and now you're getting into guys on the corner convenience store, okay? You said
That's
it.
what
you
you
nice
name your show.
What?
Guys on the corner.
Yeah. All right, Mickey. I'll talk to you later. All right. He doesn't drink 2 days in a row. Jesus. He drinks 2 minutes in a row. A fucking nut. Yes, let's go to John of Rhode Island. Yes, John, go ahead.
How you doing, Jay?
Are you John, our sniper?
Yeah, it's me.
How is the post-traumatic stress, killed every one of them with a single shot disorder doing? Huh? How's it doing?
Luckily, I don't suffer from that.
I love that you don't suffer from that. You went over there 4 times, sniper, shot the shit out of him, sent us proof, came back, shot a son of a bitch back here one time when you were working as a security guy. What are you doing now for a living? Have you started becoming a paid assassin?
No, I just work as a courier now.
Now, do you carry a weapon?
No, not this time. I just deliver medication to the elderly in the high-rise buildings around it.
So do you still miss being over there and being in the midst of the war?
No, not anymore.
Good. Did your wife leave you or stay with you? How'd that work out?
No, she's still there.
Well, that's good. It's all good news. It's all good news.
In fact, I just went to Dunkin' Donuts to get us some coffee.
Well, you're a good person. You're a good man. I just don't know why you don't become a SWAT team member.
I'm too old.
What? What, are they afraid you can't bend down?
Nah, I just had my 60th birthday.
Oh, God. You kept going back and forth, and now you're sick. You were just back there 2 years ago. You sure you're not bullshitting us?
No.
They let a guy in his late 50s go back and shoot people?
There are guys over there now that are in their late 50s.
So how do you feel about this this Supreme Court thing where if you lie about your award, they're trying to figure
I'm glad to see it.
They may not pass it, you know? They may not do it.
It's ridiculous. They say something about freedom of speech.
Right.
I mean, you can't wear a uniform unless you actually were in the military. That's against the law.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
Thank you for going overseas and fighting for our freedom of speech. How about that, Garrett? This fucking thing has backfired on the military, okay?
Yeah, it has.
Backfired, right? There you go.
Yeah.
You might have killed them for fucking nothing.
That's it.
Right. Do you have nightmares? Do they come back at you with the skeletal faces? What do they call the hats they wear over there? The draping hat. What is that called over there?
The draping hat.
Who wears? That the insurgents wear. That that Arab looking kind of outfit. What is that called?
We just call them ragheads.
Well, I don't want to say that. There must be there's got to be a nicer name.
Camel jockey?
No, not camel jockey. There's got to be a name of the outfit. We'll find it. All right, John of Rhode Island. Thanks for fighting for our freedom of speech so we could throw it back into real heroes' faces. Okay?
There you go.
All right.
All right, Jake.
God bless America. Thank you. Let's go to Wilton of the great state of Louisiana. Yes, Wilton, go ahead.
First of all, excuse me. Let me ask you. Let me just say this. You are probably one of the best radio personalities that I've ever heard.
I got to ask a fucking question. Let's stop, everybody. Hold it, everybody. Hold it. I want this shit. No. I want it to stop. No. You know why? It's fucking boring. Thank you.
I know, but listen to me just for half a second.
Or insult me or something, but don't say that.
No. I won't insult you. But, well, if you want me to, I can. But
I don't know, but let's not start every fucking
conversation.
All
right. But I'm just telling you, I used to be in radio, and I sucked at it. So when I hear somebody...
Well, of course I'm better than you.
Well, you know...
Well, that's the problem. So now you're not saying... I'm better than fucking you? Of course I am.
Well, yeah, but you're better...
Every fucking compliment comes back and just shoves fucking sticks at my ass, Garrett. Every fucking compliment. I'm so angry at the fucking... Why? Oh, Mommy. Oh, Mommy. I'm sorry. I took a whiff of that shit. Go ahead, Wilton.
Don't blame me. But
what did you want to say?
Well, look, I just wanted to say that I even think in a lot of ways you're better than Howard Stern, and I'm a big fan of Howard.
You know what, Wilton? Don't help me anymore, okay? Try not to help me.
Okay, but wait. Let me ask you something. Earlier, the last caller, you talked about being a loser on Social Security.
That's right, Tea Party assholes.
Okay,
the majority of them are taking government money. It's unbelievable.
Okay.
And it's the weirdest. You know what? Go to Fox News and get some of their surveys. You will be stunned at these fucking... Same with the Occupy assholes. What a group of fucking losers. But I'm just saying, the Tea Party people hate the fucking union. Most of them are in fucking unions. It's unbelievable.
That's true. And unions were the backbone of this country, have been in the past. Yeah.
They were. Well, maybe they lost their way.
Yeah. But what I wanted to say is I am on this disability thing because of my eyesight. I'm nearly totally...
Wait a minute. You're disabled?
Well, I'm totally blind. Well, I'm legally blind, yeah.
You're legally... No, he's not myopic. That means he can only see one side of a story.
I'm blind, totally blind in one eye, have limited vision in the other eye.
Were you warned and you didn't take the drops? I say, were you warned, but you didn't want to take the drops every day?
No, sir. I was born this way at birth.
So you came out blind. You tried to be a disc jockey, a radio announcer. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was born at 6 months. Okay, not to bore you. But I was a preemie baby in 1962, and at that time, they told me, they told my mom, they didn't tell me, they didn't give me any kind of, permission.
When you were a disc jockey, did you have to feel around the room to find the microphone and stuff?
No.
And did you touch a lot of people before you actually found the equipment? I'm just wondering, because I'm trying to think, Garrett, how do you fire a blind guy from a radio station? I think it's almost impossible.
How do you tell if the levels are right or your headphones are just turned down?
After 13 years, I did get fired. Actually, come to think of it, I did. That heartless motherfucker.
You were on the radio somewhere for 13 years.
Part-time and full-time, yeah, and did club work and stuff like that.
Wow. And you'd come in with the dark glasses and the blind person.
No. I adapted pretty well.
Hey, when you get stoned and you're blind since birth, what sort of images do you have?
It makes me see straight.
No, it doesn't. But do you have images? Because you've never really seen anything, you know?
I can see enough. I mean, barely. I mean, I can't drive.
Can you imagine a woman's naked breasts and body and vagina? I mean, in your imagination?
Well, I've had that in front of me.
I know you have, but you've never seen it really clear.
Oh, yes, I've seen it, but
Do you know that I don't know if you know this or not, but each tit does not have 4 nipples. I'm going to break it to you. It's going to be hard, but they don't go in a circle either.
But what I originally wanted to call about was to ask you, because I am on this Social Security disability, does that make me a loser?
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
But I got worse news. A sight challenged loser. That's
even worse.
Ex-Jet great wide receiver Wesley Walker was blind in one eye and half blind in another eye, and he became an NFL wide receiver.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. He caught everything they threw to him, and he was blind in one eye and half blind in another. I find that hard to believe.
Did the football beep? How's that for a loser, Jay?
Well, you're no longer a loser. You know what, Garrett? Give him that those horns that say you're a winner. Give him those horns real fast. Wilton of Louisiana, take all of this wonderful love with you.
I shall.
The rest of the group's not that excited about you. We'll be right back. Tonight, I will be doing, if you're a fantasy person, I'll be over there on 210 and 87. I have no idea how it's going to go. And we have two other people, and they're going to give away all these fantasy awards and talk to people and all. What?
How long does it go for?
3 hours. Wow. I made a huge mistake. 3 hours. I should have charged 3 days of vacation. Tomorrow morning on Howard 101, we're going to have a woman that I'm sure Howard said on before, but I've never met her. Sheila, with Sheyla, Hershey, has the world's largest breast implants. They recently saved her life in a car crash.
Didn't we have her on before?
I thought we did.
Yeah.
But not that it saved her life, right?
No, because that happened
recently.
After the Super Bowl.
Right. So we just had her on. And then Allie Hayes, who is Princess Leia in Vivid's blockbuster movie Star Wars XXX, a porn parody. She gets, I guess, banged by Han Solo, and it's always weird when I have the porn stars on because they seem so nice. And they will take a man's penis in their anus. They will suck 4 or 5 guys. They'll have women on them. And it's just not the person that you normally would look at and think, oh, what a sweetheart, you know?
And just think, Princess Leia is really the only woman in Star Wars.
Oh, God, yeah.
So I think she just takes on all comers.
Oh, she sucks a Wookiee. She does it all.
Darth Vader.
All of them. Oh, yeah. You know, I hear in one of the oral scenes, as he's going down on her, you just hear... like that. That's all you hear. Now, when he takes his helmet off to eat her, you think he's got that little tiny head like in the movie? Yeah. You know her work, Christina? Allie Hayes?
No.
I don't even really know her work, but she's a huge star. She was like Vivid's Girl of the Year. And...
Oh, it's a big deal. And they're trying to figure out now, even though they said it wasn't going to give any problem, whether they're going to leave L.A. or not because of the condom law.
Yeah, she works for that Stephen Hirsch guy that we've had on a few times.
Yeah. Christina, how much would you want to do a porno or to do a series of pornos where guys, they're good looking, good bodies, and they would have their way with you and you'd, do
what do you mean, how much money?
Yeah.
Millions.
But you do it.
Millions and millions.
No,
I don't have daddy issues. I can't.
But if someone had a $10,000 stack of money here, you would think twice about it.
I want to so bad, but I can't do it. I can't have that out there forever.
Even if the guy is well built, young, studly, he's got a sweet penis. Who cares? Huh?
He's got a sweet penis.
Oh,
well, that changes everything.
In fact, that's his
I
name.
Can't have
Stephen Sweet Penis.
Why? What are you going to run for president?
No, but my parents are still alive. I can't have them seeing this.
By the time they die, the money you could have made.
They shouldn't have to see me having sex.
Well, they wouldn't. They wouldn't look at you. Now, what about your boyfriend? Would he care?
Of course he would care.
Well, just checking. Just checking.
Yeah, sure, honey. Go out and be a slutty prostitute.
I keep telling her that she should start an Amazon wish list just to have listeners buy her presents, but she won't do it.
That when we have our podcast, Garrett, that's gonna be a big part of it.
They're gonna fund it for us.
Yeah, and we're gonna be sponsored by one of those pod companies that lets you put a disgusting storage bin in front of your home.
Your driveway.
Oh God,
we should live in it. Like what's his face?
A lot
Detroit.
of them, but no. Like in my neighborhood, especially in New Orleans, there'll be like a thing with POD on it in some company, and I go, "Are they starting construction?" They go, "No, that's just where they keep their stuff for the summer."
They keep it. Ew, really? I
Oh
thought that was
God,
for people that were moving, and then they.
No, some people keep it in their driveway.
I think we should broadcast from it.
They'll close the pool. They'll put all their pool shit in it, or something like that, and it's this big pod, nuts. This comes from. Cesar Radio Mero. Cesar, you ever heard of Cesar Romero? He was an old actor.
Yeah.
Jay, pig's ears for your animals are yesterday. The best treat to give your dog, we talked about how much the calories and fat were. It's a pizzle or a bully stick. You do that, a pizzle? It's 100% bull penis, and dogs love them. Now, Garrett, you've got to get your dog, Christina. You'd have to get your dog. He's little, isn't he? Your dog?
Yeah, 7 pounds.
You'd have to get him a poodle penis. That's what you have to get your dog. Yeah. The bully stick, beef pizzle, beef stick, and it's bull penis. Wow. Wonderful. In fact, he says, Garrett, go to bullysticksfordogs.com. He probably owns the company.
They're just like indestructible type of things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Dear Jay, this comes from Politico. I watched you on Hung, and I'm not joking. I sneezed, missed your part, had to rewind it. Okay, asshole. All right. Fucking idiot. I don't need to hear that. Well, I'll be hosting the fantasy thing tonight with
Kay Adams.
Yeah, and John
Hanson.
Yeah. And all of you folks that love fantasy do that. And Howard 101 tomorrow morning. That's right. Actually, I'll be back at work here in 20 minutes. See you later.
Let's go get